Quorum bell for 10 minutes. Order, honorable members. Senator Boni Halwale, let us assume our seats. We now have quorum and we're ready to start the business of the day. Clerk, you may call the first order of the day.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages.
Honorable Senators, I have the following message from the National Assembly. This is regards to the passage by the National Assembly of the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3, I received a message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023. The message dated 31st July 2025, Thursday, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on Friday, 1st of July 2025. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 46.4, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 144 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023 was passed by the Senate on Tuesday, 15th of April 2025, and referred to the National Assembly for consideration pursuant to the provisions of Article 110, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution. And whereas the National Assembly considered the said bill and passed it without amendments on Tuesday, 29th of July 2025, in the form passed by the Senate. Now, therefore, in accordance with the provisions of Article 110 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41.1 and 144 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the said decision of the National Assembly to the Senate. Honorable Senators, Article 110, Sub-Article 5 of the Constitution provides that once a bill concerning counties has been passed by both houses in the same form, the Speaker of the House in which the bill originated shall refer the bill to the President for assent. Accordingly, I am in the process of referring the County Public Finance Laws Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 39 of 2023, to His Excellency the President for assent. I thank you. I have a further message from the National Assembly again. This is with regards to the passage by the National Assembly of the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bills number 21 of 2025. Honorable Senators, I wish to report to the Senate that pursuant to Standing Order 46.3, I received a message from the Speaker of the National Assembly regarding the passage by the National Assembly of the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bills number 21 of 2025. The message dated Thursday, 31st of July, 2025, was received in the office of the Clerk of the Senate on Friday, 1st of August, 2025. Pursuant to Standing Orders 46.4, I now report the message. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby convey the following message from the National Assembly. Whereas the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bills number 21 of 2025, was published via the Kenya Gazette Supplement number 80 of 12th of June 2025 as a bill for an Act of Parliament to authorize the issue of a sum of money out of the Equalization Fund and its application towards the service of the year ending 30th June 2026 to appropriate that sum for certain public basic services and for connected purposes. And whereas the National Assembly considered the bill and passed it with amendments on Wednesday, 30th of July 2025, and whereas the bill concerns county governments in terms of Article 110, Sub-Article 1A of the Constitution, as it contains provisions affecting the powers and functions of county governments as set out in the fourth schedule to the Constitution. Now, therefore, in accordance with provisions of Article 110 of the Constitution and Standing Orders 41.1 and 142 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I hereby refer the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, National Assembly Bills number 21 of 2025, to the Senate for consideration. Honorable Senators, as you are aware, on Tuesday, 22nd of July 2025, the Senate passed the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 7 of 2025, the bill which seeks to authorize the withdrawal of funds from the Equalization Fund and their application towards the provision of public basic services for the financial year ending 30th of June 2026 and for connected purposes, was subsequently transmitted to the National Assembly on Wednesday, 30th of July 2025. In view of the similarities in the provisions of the two bills, I hereby refer the bill to the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget to advise the House on the appropriate way forward. The House is accordingly guided. I thank you. Order, honorable members, I still have a further message to communicate from the National Assembly. This is This is a similar communication, honorable members. So the communication which the chair has made is as regards the two bills which I've read, and Order, honorable members. I have several interventions here. I will start with, I have got Senator Cherargei and Senator Mohamed Faki. Start with Senator Samson Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, I take a great exception to communication from the National Assembly. Either the National Assembly are on fishing expedition, Mr. Speaker, or they want to intentionally kill and sabotage devolution, Mr. Speaker. Because if you have read, Equalization Fund was passed on 22nd July 2024, Senate Bills number 7, Mr. Speaker. What is National Assembly trying to achieve, Mr. Speaker? Our counties are being starved of resources which has been given power under Article 204 on the issue of Equalization Fund, Mr. Speaker. Right. So is it in good faith, Mr. Speaker? And you remember when we moved to court, and I know Senator Wambua, Senator Okongo Mugeni are aware of this, when the National Assembly passed 22 bills without the concurrence of the Senate, Mr. Speaker, it was ruled that there must be concurrences from the both houses. When we passed this bill, Equalization Fund, on 22nd July, it was transmitted to the Speaker of the National Assembly, which was supposed to give concurrence on what we have passed, Mr. Speaker. This is wastage of public funds because it is duplicity. Why are we doing a bill, take it to the National Assembly, then the National Assembly does their bill, then bring it to the Senate, Mr. Speaker? And mark you, Mr. Speaker, most of the Senate bills, they have formed a graveyard in National Assembly because of being told only money bill, Mr. Speaker. We cannot allow this, Mr. Speaker. Even if it means us to seek another chance in another forum, let this bill not be even communicated. Mr. Speaker, I was disappointed by that the SBC and yourself should have not even allowed this communication to come to the floor. Because, Mr. Speaker, what are we telling the country? This, and I told you, and as I sit ground to other colleagues, the people who want to kill devolution are not Kenyans, are not us, it is the National Assembly. Because they know the more they procrastinate on this matter of equalization funds, it will kill our counties. Mr. Speaker, let this communication be returned with the same letter, the same sender, the same office, the same person to the National Assembly. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mohamed Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa pia kunipa fursa kutoa kauli yangu juu ya mswada wa hazina ya usawa. Mheshimiwa Spika, mswada huu unaweza kuanzishwa katika nyumba yoyote ya bunge la Senate ama bunge la kitaifa. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kwamba wakati imeanzishwa katika bunge la Senate na ikapitishwa hapa, ni makosa kwa bunge la kitaifa kuchapisha na kujadili mswada ule ambao tayari umepitishwa na bunge la Senate. Mheshimiwa Spika, hizi ni nyumba moja, zote ni nyumba ya bunge, lakini lina vyumba viwili. Kwa hivyo hatuwezi kuwa sisi tunakaa hapa tunazungumza jambo ambalo wenzetu kule wanazungumza, na vile vile wao hawatakani, hawapaswi kuzungumza jambo ambalo sisi hapa tumelizungumza. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, inaonekana kuna ulegevu fulani, na hii zaidi itakuwa ni upande wa bunge la kitaifa, kwa sababu tumeona kwamba yale ambayo bunge letu linafanya kupitia kwa ofisi ya karani mkuu, wanahakikisha kwamba chochote ambacho kinafanyika katika bunge hili kinafuata sheria. Kwa mfano Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna sheria zilipitishwa hapa ikabidi twende kotini, sheria zaidi ya 22 ambazo zilikuwa zimepitishwa bila ya kuulizwa sisi kama bunge la Senate, je, mnakubaliana nazo ama hatukubaliani nazo. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mwenendo huu tulitarajia kwamba utakwisha, kwa sababu Spika wa bunge la kitaifa alikuwa ni seneta na alikuwa pia ni kiongozi wa wachache katika bunge hili. Lakini masikitisho Mheshimiwa Spika kwamba mambo haya bado yanaendelea. Kila siku tunapata sheria zinachapishwa, zinajadiliwa katika bunge la kitaifa ambalo zinahusu masuala ya ugatuzi, lakini sheria zile haziletwi hapa wala haziletwi kwa spika wetu kuweza kukubali ama kutokubali ziendelee kuchapishwa. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, lazima swala hili, uongozi wa mabunge mawili, na tunapozungumzia viongozi Mheshimiwa Spika, ni spika, kiongozi wa wengi na kiongozi wa wachache, lazima wakae na wenzao wa bunge lile ili tusionekane kicheko sasa. Kwa sababu hatuwezi sisi tunazungumza hapa na wale wanazungumza, inakuwa bunge linachekesha Mheshimiwa Spika. Asante kwa kunipa fursa hii.
I'll allow 2 more members to Senator Boni Halwale. I can't see you. I cannot see you. Senator Murango James Kamau.
Asante sana Mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, unajua bunge la kitaifa imekuwa kama paka anayocheza ngoma katika harusi ya panya. Wanatufanya kama sisi tuko na uhusiano wote nao, lakini hatuna. Kwa sababu kama tumepitisha mswada na kuwapelekea wao, wanakuja na tudhalilisha na kurudisha yao, kuonyesha kama hao ni wakubwa kutuliko. Mimi Mstahiki Spika ni mfuasi wa tafsiri kama ya kwamba mtoto akikunja ngumi akonge kama mtu mzima. Wale kwa sababu pia tuko na miswanda yao katika bunge la Seneti, pia tunafaa tuikanyagie. Akutendaye mtende, mwache asiyekutenda. Mstahiki Spika, hatufai kukaa kimya na kuendelea kukaa kimya wakati wanatudhalilisha. Asante sana Mstahiki Spika.
Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to fully associate myself with the sentiments of my colleagues on this matter of the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill passed by the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, and your communication, Mr. Speaker, was right, that we have already passed that bill as the Senate. And if we are to follow procedure, then the National Assembly was supposed to consider the bill as passed by the Senate, and if they have any reservations about the bill passed by the Senate, they push for amendments, bring that bill back to the Senate in an amended form, then we form a mediation committee and come up with a version of a bill that is acceptable to both houses. Mr. Speaker, this thing about the National Assembly thinking that they can do whatever they want to do, and that whatever they want to do will find space in the Senate, Mr. Speaker, we must bring this matter to an end through this bill. And this is how it goes, Mr. Speaker. My advice, Mr. Speaker, as a leader in this House, is do not even pass that communication to the relevant committee. Let it just stay where it is. Let them sit with our bill as long as they want to sit with it. Mr. Speaker, we have leverage here on many, many issues. And as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, if we don't treat the National Assembly in the same manner that they treat us, with contempt, Mr. Speaker, abnormally, because that's what they do, Mr. Speaker, we will just be a conveyor belt for them. That's what we're going to be. Mr. Speaker, I hear that there is a bill before us from the National Assembly, a constitutional amendment bill. Mr. Speaker, let the chiefs lie where they have fallen. Let that bill sleep where it is sleeping. Until such a time, Mr. Speaker, that the National Assembly will realize that the Senate does not exist for the convenience of the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, this matter of the Equalization Fund, the procedure is very well enumerated in the Constitution and enabling legislations. Let the National Assembly follow due process, but as for now, Mr. Speaker, don't pass that bill to the relevant committee. Let it just stay where it is. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Lastly, honorable members, I will allow Senator Boni Halwale to comment on this, and I'll give directions. Enough has been said about it. Allow Senator Boni Halwale to comment.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much. But before you hear me, Mr. Speaker, allow me to read Article 110, Sabbatical 5 of the Constitution. This is bills concerning county government, which in Sabbatical 5 says that if both houses pass the bill, in the same form, the Speaker of the House in each of the, sabbatical of 3, before either House considers a bill, the Speakers of the National Assembly and the Senate shall jointly resolve any question as to whether it is a bill concerning counties, and if it is, whether it is a special or an ordinary bill, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I speak as a member of the Senate Finance and Budget Committee. I have done consultations with my colleagues, Senator Roba, who is the chairman, Maureen Mtinda, who is the vice chair, Eddie Kisheru Okech, who is a member, and we are agreed that should this matter be brought to the committee, we are not going to deal with it. This is not a matter that should be resolved by the committee, because the Constitution has clearly indicated that it should be resolved by the 2 speakers, Mr. Speaker. Unless the Speaker of the Senate has either abdicated his responsibility, Mr. Speaker, or he is in connivance, or, Mr. Speaker, he has decided to learn the bad manners of the Speaker of the National Assembly, who has reduced himself to an agent of the United Democratic Alliance, running around the country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to be heard.
Order,
Mr. Speaker, running around the country.
Order, honorable members. Proceed, Senator Harwale.
Yes. Can you hold for me? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order, Senator Wafula?
Honorable Speaker, under standing order.
Order, members. Allow Senator Wafula to be heard in silence. Senator Wafula, what is your point of order?
Under standing order 105.
Give Senator Wafula the microphone, clerk.
Mheshimiwa
Senator Wafula,
Speaker,
proceed to the dispatch.
that hapo ni sawa. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Under Standing Order 105, the Senator shall be responsible for the accuracy of any facts that the Senator alleges to be true and may be requested to substantiate any such facts instantly. Honorable Speaker, I believe there is non-political hygiene from one Dr. Boni Khalwale. He must stand up and confirm that someone is an agent of UDA or someone is masquerading or being sent by UDA, and he must also come out clear and respect the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly.
Senator Boni Khalwale, proceed to substantiate the comments as made by Senator Wafula under Standing 105. Order, members. Order, honorable members. Senator Boni, proceed to substantiate as alleged.
Mr. Speaker, with utmost respect to the Senator of Bungoma, who is rising on a valid point of order, could he kindly, using the same standing orders, allow me to make my point? Then he challenges me. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to make the point that the responsibility of the Speaker should not be vacated at any time. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, can you help me? I don't want to be irritated. Hold the Senator of Nandi. Yes. But, Mr. Speaker, the point I want to drive home, and which must sink beyond the ears of the Senator of Bungoma, is that instead of observing Article 110(3), the Speaker of the National Assembly, by participating in the so-called empowerment functions where they dish out money, Mr. Speaker, he is behaving like an agent of the United Democratic Alliance. And Mr. Speaker, nowhere in the history of the Republic of Kenya has a Speaker ever.
Senator Gay, Boni, take your seat. Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, I raise under Standing Order 96 and 101. Is it in order for the Senator of Kakamega, Boni Khalwale, who is a chief whip and is also the UDA member, although he operates from outside, we no longer know him.
Order members, Senator
we no
Sifuna.
longer know him.
Senator Sifuna, order members.
Why is Senator Sifuna shouting? His days in ODM are numbered. Mr. Speaker, what I am saying is very simple. Mr. Speaker, understanding Order 101, if Senator Boni Khalwale wants to discuss substantively the Speaker of National Assembly, which we are ready to discuss to, he should bring a substantive motion. Is it in order, Mr. Speaker, to cast aspersion to the Speaker of the National Assembly? I want to invite Mr. Speaker, you have told him to substantiate. Can you invoke Standing Order 121, rule him out of cross-lead in order and throw him out, Mr. Speaker?
You have made your point,
Mr. Speaker, he should be thrown out.
You have made your point,
Senator Boni. This is not Malenya, my friend.
Senator Boni Khalwale, as you conclude on your comments on this particular messaging, refrain from making specific allegations that might call upon the Speaker to take appropriate action. Kindly conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Boni Khalwale, proceed.
Yes. Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wambua, order please.
It is
the chair to allow you whether to speak or not. Senator Boni Khalwale, proceed.
The loud consultations that we are hearing, Mr. Speaker, are the right thing. It confirms that this is a house of debate, and on debate, people are not supposed to agree on everything. And therefore, I want to thank you for allowing me to conclude this point.
Order, members. Order, members. Order, honorable members.
Mr. Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Senator Boni Khalwale, as you conclude, proceed to substantiate the allegation about the agency on the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly. Order, members. Order. Order, members. Senator Kinyua, order. Boni Khalwale, conclude as you substantiate on that aspect the chair has directed you to do.
Mr. Speaker, because of...
Senator Gerard Gay, order please.
Mr. Speaker, because of the immense respect that I have for the chair, you have invited me to substantiate, and Mr. Speaker, I do hereby proceed in substantiating.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I have...
Order, members. Order, members.
I have, Mr. Speaker, been accused of alleging that the Speaker of the National Assembly is behaving like an agent of the United Democratic Alliance by participating in the so-called empowerment rallies where public funds running in millions of shillings are being dished out by the Speaker.
Order, members.
Mr.
Order,
Speaker.
members. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members.
Mr. Speaker.
Order, honorable members. Senator Boni, I will call you out of order because the more you seek to substantiate, the more you make certain allegations from the chair. Conclude as you not go the direction you are headed to. Members, order please. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members. Order members. Proceed, Senator Boni, and I will expect you to do that in under 1 minute. I'll not allow you to take the time of the call of this.
Thank you.
House. Order, Senator Cherargei. Don't invite the chair to throw you out. Senator Mutinda. Don't invite the chair to throw you out. Senator Boni Halwale, you have check my directions and conclude in under 1 minute. Senator Omogeni, take your seat. Take your seat, Senator Omogeni. Take your seat, Senator Omogeni. Take your seat. Take your seat, Senator Omogeni. Don't invite the chair to invoke the standing orders and throw you out. Take your chair. Take your seat. Take your seat. Order, members, order. Take your seat, honorable members. Senator Cherargei, take your seat. Honorable members, take your seat. Senator Madzayo, take your seat. Take your seat, honorable members. Take your seat. Senator Mbua, take your seat. Order, members. Honorable members, take your seat. I am not going to allow any other point of order. Members, order. Senator Boni Halwale, the chair has invited you to substantiate in under 1 minute, and I will not allow you to go beyond 1 minute in substantiating the allegations that you have made. Members, if any one of you interrupts, I will not hesitate to invoke the standing orders and throw you out of the house. Senator Boni, take that direction.
Mr. Speaker, if what I have adduced verbally is not sufficient, Mr. Speaker, allow me to then tomorrow bring video recordings of these people, these public leaders, spending millions of public funds in empowerment missions
Senator Boni,
that we do not understand.
Senator Boni Halwale, take your seat.
They have been
Senator Boni
everywhere.
Halwale, take your seat. Take your seat. Members, honorable members. Now, the chair hereby directs Senator Boni Halwale tomorrow to substantiate in form of whatever document or video recording before the House the allegations you have made, and that is the direction of the chair. Now, honorable senators, with that, honorable senators, order, honorable senators. I had directed that, pursuant to the communication I made, the last person I allowed to speak to this messaging was Senator Boni Halwale. As you note from the last paragraph of the communication, members, I had indicated that in view of the similarities in the provisions of the two bills, I hereby refer the bill to the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget to advise the House on the appropriate way forward. Order, members. Order, members. This is the position. Order, members. Order, members. The communication that comes from the National Assembly has got nothing to do with what this House is to deal with in that particular communication. This communication is conveyed from the office of the clerk for the House to decide. And that is why the chair, has directed that this is committed to the committee for that communication to come. And to that, members, we close on this particular messaging, and I call the clerk to call the next order. Proceed.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Leader of majority.
No, Deputy, we cannot allow Kalwale to table the government business. Mr. Speaker.
So, tabling. The order is correct.
Senator Sifuna, allow the leader of majority to table the document.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, the 5th of August, 2025. Report of the Ministry of Health on the cell, tissue, and organ transplant services in Kenya.
Next order. Take your seat, Senator Chesang. Now, following the paper that has just been tabled by Senator Lelengwe, I have the following report from the Ministry of Health on the cell, tissue, and organ transplant services in Kenya. Honorable Senators, as you will note, the Senate Majority Leader has laid on the table of the Senate this afternoon a report from the Ministry of Health on the cell, tissue, and organ transplant services in Kenya. The report contains various findings and recommendations on cell, tissue, and organ transplant services, and one key recommendation is the need for complete regulatory reforms on the organ transplantation program. Consequently, and upon the tabling of this document in the Senate, I hereby direct that the report be committed to the Standing Committee on Health for consideration. The committee will be required to consider the report and table a report containing its recommendations. Honorable Senators, that is the communication as regards that paper tabled, and I thank you.
Clerk, call the next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give to give notice of the following motion: that notwithstanding the resolutions of the Senate made on 12 February 2025 on the approval of senators to serve in various standing committees of the Senate and pursuant to Standing Order 197, 199, and 228, following nomination by the Senate Business Committee, the Senate approves the nomination of Senator Joe Nyotu, MP, to serve in the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare to replace Senator Gloria Oroba, MP. Thank you.
Honorable members, before we call out the next order, I have communication from the chair. This is on visiting delegation from the Bunge Mashinani School of Governance. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of visiting delegation of 8 staff and 17 students from the Bunge Mashinani School of Governance. The delegation is undertaking a study visit in Parliament. Honorable members, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. I will allow under 1 minute Senator Tabitha to welcome the team on behalf of the Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to welcome our great team, that is the Bunge Mashinani governance team. Feel welcome. This is called the upper house. The deliberations that you've seen, the discussions that you've seen, we disagree to agree. As representatives of the people, at the end of the day, we are representing them, and we tend to have different views, but all geared towards better governance. I wish you the best and welcome you, and anybody can also be in this particular house. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
Clerk, call the next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Request for statements, pass one to Standing Order 53-1. Senator Tabitha Mutinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise pass one to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the absence of safe pedestrian crossing along Thika Road at Kabati Market in Murang'a County, which possesses grave safety risks. And this is a highway, Nairobi-Murang'a Highway. Mr. Speaker, Thika Road is a major highway connecting Nairobi to central and eastern parts of Kenya, serving thousands of motorists and public transport vehicles every day. Kabati Market, located along the busy highway, Mr. Speaker, is a significant commercial hub, serving local residents, traders, farmers, and commuters from across Murang'a County and the neighboring counties, including Nairobi. Due to the high human and vehicle traffic in the area, the lack of proper pedestrian crossing infrastructure has contributed to multiple accidents and continues to endanger the lives and particularly of school children, traders, and the elderly. In the statement, the committee should address the following, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if Senator Cherelgai and Senator Boni will give me silence. Thank you. The committee should address the following. 1, the nature and the number of accidents involving pedestrians that has occurred along Thika Road at Kabati Market in Murang'a County since 2023. Number 2, the reasons for the failure by the government to erect speed bumps or construct a footbridge over the Thika Road at Kabati Market despite the multiple accidents. Measures being taken by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to address this situation, including details on any planned interventions and their expected timelines. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I will defer to the next sitting the second statement from that particular list. Call upon Senator Jones Maruma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have 3 statements and allow me to read all of them. The first one, Mr. Speaker, is a statement on the operational status of ambulances in Taita Taveta County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the condition and operational status of ambulance services in Taita Taveta. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the total number of ambulances in Taita Taveta County, their current mechanical and operational condition, including copies of their logbooks. 2, the purchase cost of each ambulance, including shipment charges and relevant shipment documentation. 3, the work permits for the ambulances, including the specific stations or health facilities from which each ambulance operates. The second statement, Mr. Speaker, is on the status of the water drilling rig in Taita Taveta County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the status of our water drilling rig, a property of the county government of Taita Taveta. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the total cost of the drilling rig, including the purchase price of the rig, shipment charges, relevant shipment documents, and any additional costs incurred in the acquisition and transportation process. 2, the rig's logbook, including records of any previous changes in ownership. 3, details of the supplier, including their name, contact information, and any contractual agreements entered into with the county government. 4, number of boreholes drilled using the rig since its acquisition, accompanied by the corresponding hydrological reports, number and credentials of the surveyor or surveying company involved, relevant work permits, and the operational status of each borehole. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, is a statement on the land ownership dispute in Maungu sublocation, Voi sub-county, Taita Taveta County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment, and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the land ownership dispute at Maungu sublocation, Voi sub-county of Taita Taveta County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the land covers Pipeline, Msharinyi, Wagala, and Miasenyi villages with a population of 4,000 residents that stand affected should the illegal issuance of the title deeds stand. The land in question, covering parcel numbers 3101 to 3129, which were included in the Maungu Buguta settlement scheme, but in reality, it falls outside the geographical location of the scheme. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, whether the right procedure was followed during the survey, pegging, and issuance of the title deeds. 2, the rationale behind the issuance of the title deeds by the Taita Taveta land registrar to land parcels number 3101 to 3129, contrary to advice and instructions by the manager of Maungu Buguta settlement scheme. Number 3, whether any disciplinary action has been taken or is contemplated against the land registrar should they be found to have acted irregularly or illegally. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, whether the government intends to revoke the title deeds issued for parcels 3101 to 3129 if it is established that their issuance was unlawful. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next is Senator Fatuma Dulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the abduction and assault of Mr. Abdurrahman Ibrahim, former Chief Officer Medical Services in Isiolo County. Mr. Speaker, on the 13th of June 2025 at approximately 2 a.m., Mr. Abdurrahman Mohammed Ibrahim was abducted in the Manzoni area of Machakos County. He was held for nearly 5 hours, assaulted, and later found unconscious near the Ruai dump site at around 5 p.m. That same day, he sustained serious injuries, including a broken arm, and was hospitalized. Personal statements, including his licensed firearm, mobile phone, and cash, were reportedly confiscated during the ordeal. This brutal incident raises serious questions about the safety of public servants in the country. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the circumstances leading to the reported abduction and assault of Mr. Abdurrahman, and whether the stolen items, specifically his licensed firearm, mobile phone, and cash, have been recovered, the identities of those involved in planning and executing the attack, and whether credible evidence has been gathered linking any suspect to the crime, the progress of investigation by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, including reasons for the apparent inaction despite follow-up efforts. Finally, the measures in place to guarantee the security of public officers and citizens, including strategies to prevent recurrence of such incidents in the future, especially those perceived to be politically instigated. I thank you.
Senator Richard Onyonka.
I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of national concern regarding irregularities in the payroll system of the Teacher Service Commission. Mr. Speaker, the Auditor General's report for the financial year ending June 2024 highlights significant flaws in the payroll administration of the Commission. Specifically, the report, out of the many, reveals that TSC overpaid teachers by a total of 433.9 million shillings, attributing the overpayments to inefficiencies associated with manual reporting and processing systems. To date, Mr. Speaker, only 222 million has been recovered, leaving an outstanding balance of 211 unrecovered. These irregularities are further compounded by concurrent audit revelations by the Ministry of Education, which disbursed funds to non-existing schools, pointing to a wider systemic issue of mismanagement and weak oversight within public education institutions. Mr. Speaker, this could go from all our secondary schools, universities, and technical vocational training institutes. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, I would like to know the current number of employment status of individuals on the TSC payroll, including the verification of their status of all the listed personnel in the Republic of Kenya. Madam Chair, I hope you're listening to me. Number two, Mr. Speaker, I would like to also recommend the committee to tell us the root causes of the payroll anomalies and systemic weaknesses that have led to these overpayments and several payments without going through the system. Number three, Mr. Speaker, the total financial loss attributable to non-existence or unauthorized personnel, bracket, ghost workers, and the criteria used to identify who they are. Number four, Mr. Speaker, I would like the committee to tell me what measures are being undertaken by the TSC to recover all the outstanding amounts from the affected individuals and any other person who may owe TSC and the government of Kenya money. Finally, number five, Mr. Speaker, I would like the committee, under the able leadership of our wonderful lady, which reforms are going to take place in the TSC to prevent such recurrences, including biometric registration of all the teachers in the Republic of Kenya. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator James Murango.
Asante sana Mstahiki Spika kwa kunipa nafasi kuomba kauli kuhusu matumizi ya anda ya uendeshaji na matengenezo zinazolipwa na wakulima mpango wa umwagiliaji maji katika eneo la Mwea. Mstahiki Spika, nasimama kwa mujibu wa kanuni ya kudumu ya 53(1) za Seneti kuomba kauli kutoka kwa kamati ya kilimo, mifugo na uvuvi kuhusu usimamizi na matumizi ya fedha za uendeshaji na matengenezo zinazolipwa kila mwaka na wakulima wa Mwea. Mstahiki Spika, wakulima mpango wa umwagiliaji wa Mwea hulipa takriban shilingi 7,000 kila mwaka kama ada ya uendeshaji na matengenezo. Fedha hizi hulipwa kupitia mfumo wa e-Citizen wa serikali na zinalenga kugharamia ukarabati wa matengenezo na miundombinu ya mashambani, hasa barabara za ndani na mashamba. Mstahiki Spika, licha ya kulipa anda hizi kila mwaka kwa uaminifu, barabara nyingi mashambani ziko katika hali bovu na hazipitiki, hasa wakati wa mvua. Hali hii inawavunja moyo wakulima na inazuia maendeleo ya shughuli za kilimo, usafirishaji wa mazao.
If you must consult in low tone so that the senator can be heard in silence. Senator Miraj, keep silence in the house. Proceed, Senator Murango, to conclude on your statement.
Mstahiki Spika, licha ya kulipa ndaizi kila mwaka kwa uaminifu, barabara nyingi mashambani ziko katika hali bovu na hazipitiki hasa wakati wa mvua. Hali hii inawavunja moyo wakulima na inazuia maendeleo ya shughuli za kilimo, usafirishaji wa mazao na upatikanaji wa masoko. Aidha, ripoti ya mkaguzi ya mdhibiti na mkaguzi mkuu wa hesabu za serikali imeonyesha kuwa zaidi ya shilingi milioni 54.8 zilizokusanywa na hazina taifa hazina maelezo ya matumizi, jambo linalozua wasiwasi kuwa huenda fedha zilizochangishwa kutoka kwa wakulima wa mwea ni miongoni mwa pesa hizo zisizojulikana zilipo. Katika kauli hiyo, kamati inapaswa kujibu maswali yafuatayo. Moja, kiasi kamili cha fedha kilizokusanywa kutoka kwa wakulima wa mwea kama anda ya ONM katika kipindi cha miaka 5 iliyopita na mahali ambapo fedha hizo zimehifadhiwa. 2, miradi ambayo imetekelezwa au kuboreshwa kwa kutumia fedha hizo katika kipindi hicho. 3, sababu za kuendelea kushuhudiwa kwa hali duni ya barabara za mashambani licha ya malipo haya kufanywa kila mwaka. 4, iwapo kuna ukaguzi wa hesabu. Mstahiki Spika, nadhani mazungumzo inaendelea na Senator Kenywa
Senator Kisang, Senator Nyutu and Senator Mbugua. Order Senator Mbugua, Senator Nyutu. Order allow Senator Murango to conclude his statement.
4, iwapo kuna ukaguzi wa matumizi ya fedha hizo ambayo imefanyika na matokeo ukaguzi huo. Na mwisho, iwapo kuna ushahidi wowote unaoonyesha kuwa fedha hizo ni sehemu ya shilingi bilioni 44.8 ambazo hazina rekodi ya matumizi kulingana na ripoti ya mdhibiti na mkaguzi mkuu wa hesabu za serikali. Asante sana Mstahiki Spika.
Senator Okia Omtata. You have the microphone from where you are.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to request for a statement on the deplorable state of healthcare services in Busia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53(1) to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the deplorable state of healthcare facilities and services in Busia County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the healthcare system in Busia County is in critical disrepair, marked by inadequate infrastructure, insufficient medical equipment, and a severe shortage of trained personnel. This situation is further exacerbated by non-functional ambulances, poor sanitation, and a chronic lack of essential medical supplies. Sub-county hospitals are missing key services such as radiology, cesarean sections, and specialist care, while existing infrastructure remains underutilized due to staffing and technical challenges. Mr. Speaker, sir, despite investments in digital systems, outdated manual record keeping continues to hinder services delivery. Additionally, poor waste disposal practices, underfunding of drug procurement, delayed salaries, and deteriorating working conditions have resulted in staff shortages and abandoned facilities. Consequently, there is a concerning trend of patients seeking care outside the county. The Busia County Referral Hospital, which is designated as a level 5 facility, is operating well below standard, highlighting the urgent need for comprehensive reform in the health sector. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the state of healthcare facilities in Busia County including human resource capacity, availability of equipment, and the status of infrastructure. 2, the reasons for underutilization and abandonment of fully constructed medical facilities. 3, a status report on the implementation of the Busia County Facility Improvement Financing Act 2024. 4, an update on investigations into reported misuse of health funds, including the Kenya shillings 4.9 million spent on questionable consultancy services. 5, recommendations for immediate interventions to address the health crisis in Busia County, including the deployment of emergency equipment and personnel by the Ministry of Health. Andrew Omtato Koiti, MP, Senator from Busia County. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Beatrice Ogola. That statement is dropped. Senator Lelengwe.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the systematic voiding of staff allowances and other county obligations already approved for payment by the Control of Budget during the financial year 2024-2025 in Samburu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the basis for voiding or cancellation of payments, including staff allowances and contractor dues, after approval by the Control of Budget, including whether such actions comply with the Public Finance Management Act 2012. 2, the impact of these cancellations on county employees and service providers, including whether due process was followed, such as formal notification to affected parties and adherence to audit procedures. 3, the oversight and responsibility mechanisms in place to prevent irregular or selective cancellation of approved payments, including measures to enhance transparency and fiscal discipline in the execution of Samburu County budgets. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The next statement by request is hereby deferred to the next sitting. I'll call upon Senator Eric Okongo Mogeni, Senior Counsel.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of county-wide concern regarding access to piped water in Nyamira County. Mr. Speaker, sir, residents in many rural areas of Nyamira lack access to clean and safe drinking water. As a result, they are forced to rely on unreliable sources such as rainwater or worse still, contaminated water from nearby rivers and streams. Many of these residents are now grappling with waterborne diseases and other types of ailments which should not be the case in the 21st century. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should address the following. 1, provide to the Senate data on the number of households per ward that have applied and had connection of piped and tapped water from the county government of Nyamira from the year 2023 to date. 2, report to the committee plans in place by the county government of Nyamira to expand access to clean piped water for the residents of the county of Nyamira. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next is Senator Mohamed Faki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the recognition of the Wangazija community in Mombasa. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Wangazija community are a Swahili-speaking community residing predominantly...
Senator Faki, just take your seat. Senator Tabitha Keroche, while you are away, certain directives were given and you are out of order. I'm giving you the first warning because of what you've just been doing. Take note. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Wangazija Committee, a Swahili-speaking community residing predominantly along the Kenyan coast, particularly in Mombasa. Despite their long-standing historical presence and invaluable contributions to the coastal cultural landscape and Islamic heritage of our nation, they remain unrecognized as a distinct ethnic group by the state. This continued lack of formal recognition has had far-reaching consequences. The Wangazija community has been systematically excluded from access to critical government services, representation in public institutions, and inclusion in affirmative action programs that are designed to uplift marginalized and minority groups. This exclusion is not only unfair but also goes against the Constitution, which requires all Kenyan communities to be included and treated fairly in national development and planning. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the measures being undertaken, including engagement with relevant state agency to document, facilitate, and ensure the formal legal recognition of the Wangazija community as a distinct ethnic minority within the Republic of Kenya. The inclusion, number two, the inclusion of the Wangazija community in future national census, public appointments, and affirmative action frameworks targeting minority and marginalized community. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Lastly, Senator Sifuna Edwin. Give Senator Sifuna the microphone, clerk. Utilize the dispatch desk, Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, I wish you had permitted me to give diagnosis of the problem in the previous discussion, but let me proceed to read the statement. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the state of mental health institutions in the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, mental health facilities remain one of the most neglected areas within the country's health sector. Gaps in policy and resourcing have rendered these institutions the weakest link in the ongoing health sector reforms. Consequently, vulnerable patients admitted to these institutions are exposed to poor treatment, security breaches, and unregulated institutional practices, resulting in unmet health needs. In addition, the Ministry of Health's weak regulatory oversight may have contributed to the serious lapse that led to the tragic murder of a patient in a private mental health facility on the 15th of July 2025. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, in the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the total number of public mental health facilities in the country, including the staffing levels of the medical, security, and support personnel in each of those institutions. Number two, an audit of operational, procedural, security, and medical protocols in these facilities, including an assessment of the resources allocated to them. Thirdly and finally, Mr. Speaker, the government's regulatory framework for holding private mental health institutions accountable for operational and security failures, including an update on the status of the investigations into the murder of the patient at the private facility on 15th July 2025. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 53.3, I will allow a maximum of 15 minutes for those members who would like to have comments on the statements which have just been read out to comment. I have from my request sheet Senator Samson Cherargei.
Mr. Speaker, let me just comment on one or two statements. One is on the issue of ambulances in Taita Taveta and the state of health in Busia by the presidential candidate, Senator Okiya Omtata. Mr. Speaker, this issue of status of health, Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal, because if the chairperson of health and the committee of health would move the working reports on the status of health in counties that they have visited, it will allow us to make progress. Because in those reports, Mr. Speaker, we will be, can you believe in Nandi County, Mr. Speaker, before you use an ambulance, whether your wife wants to give birth, I don't mean your wife literally, but somebody's wife or a resident of Nandi or any other person, Mr. Speaker, you have to pay 1,000 shillings for fuel, Mr. Speaker, to use the ambulance that should be fueled by the counties. This is a similar situation in Taita Taveta, Mr. Speaker. In fact, the state and the quality of devolution in this country, Mr. Speaker, as we go for devolution conference, what will kill devolution is the poor, deplorable health sector in our counties, Mr. Speaker, including Migori. Nandi is a going concern, Mr. Speaker. Where you go, I heard KEMSA are being owed almost 3 billion by counties. But when you go to our shelves in Kapsabet County Referral Hospital, Mr. Speaker, when you go to Kuala, Mr. Speaker, when you go to Mombasa, there are no drugs on the shelves, Mr. Speaker. So I want to appeal that the report by the Health Committee, even as we visit Busia for Bunge Mashinani or Senate Mashinani, Mr. Speaker, we must ensure we visit those places so that we can assess, Mr. Speaker. Of course, not talking about Kakamega, which is not going concern, Mr. Speaker. So we must, as a House, the success of devolution, Mr. Speaker, let me summarize by saying this. The success of devolution is how we'll handle health matters in this country, Mr. Speaker. Finally, on the issue of statement that has been brought by Senator Murango, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of rice, Mr. Speaker, I'm still wondering why do we import rice, yet there is excess rice in Mwea. Mr. Speaker, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, Mr. Speaker. I think the food that we have in this country is sufficient, Mr. Speaker. The Mwea people are paying 7,000, Mr. Speaker, for maintenance of canals. They have a problem of snails, Mr. Speaker. They are paying almost 2.1 billion to e-citizen, Mr. Speaker, but they don't see value for that money, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal, I saw the Chair of Agriculture, Senator Wakoli, to call the Minister of Agriculture to tell the country what is the urgent need of importing rice to Kenya. Yet there is rice in Nyatike, yes, there is rice in Ahero, yet there is rice in Budalange, yes, there is rice, Mr. Speaker, in Mwea. What are we telling our farmers? You know the reason I'm worried, Mr. Speaker, if we don't arrest this one, now our maize is almost getting ready, Mr. Speaker. And if sugar, we are sugar sufficient. I want to assure Senator Onyonga, Mr. Speaker. So what I'm saying in short, Mr. Speaker, the issue of, and in conclusion, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of avoiding payments with your indulgence in Samburu. Mr. Speaker, I remember Senator Onyonga when he was a member of public accounts in conclusion. He used to complain about this issue of voiding, Mr. Speaker. Can you believe Nandi County, they did a voiding of almost 500 million Kenya shillings. Mr. Speaker, what happens in voiding, for many Kenyans who don't understand why we are bitter, you make a requisition to control our budget, but you pay different people. And that is what happening in Samburu, Mr. Speaker. The governor is paying friendly companies as opposed to the people who are genuine, Mr. Speaker. All counties, including Bomet, Mr. Speaker. Even I was told in Nairobi, I'm shocked, and the senator of Nairobi should listen to this. All people, Mr. Speaker, who have pending bills in Nairobi, they must pay 30% to some entities within county executive to be paid them. You must call Nairobi to order, Mr. Speaker. All the counties, I'm told Nairobi is the highest at 30%, Kirinyaga is 20%, Kisii is 15% or 30%, so that you are paid, Mr. Speaker. We are killing our businesses in our counties. Even in Bomet, Mr. Speaker. Before the contractors are paid, they must honor sijui mtu nyuma ya 10 so that they can be sorry, Mr. Speaker, for using that word with mixing the language. Mr. Speaker, we must be told, Nairobi, can you believe these PWDs, women, and my deputy majority leader should listen to this, even women, where do you have the courage to ask a woman to give you 30% or a PWD? Uogope Mungu? Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to support.
Senator Godfrey Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to comment on the statement by Senator Onyonka on the issue of irregularities in TSC payroll system. Mr. Speaker, I think this is a very serious issue. Our teachers continue to suffer as a result of TSC's inefficiency, especially in the management of the electronic payroll system. Mr. Speaker, even as we talk about that, there are many other systems in government which have problems, including even the one for managing schools, NEMIS, including even e-citizen and others, which have serious technical issues, serious security issues, and yet, Mr. Speaker, the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act is very clear that such systems which are supposed to be handling large volumes of our population and they are usually classified in law as critical information system or information data. They are supposed to be categorized in law and gazetted as so. This provision in law, Mr. Speaker, has not been complied with. I don't know what the Ministry of ICT and the Ministry of Interior is doing about this, Mr. Speaker. Because even as we advance in technology, even as we upload and board many systems to manage our operation, we need to ensure that such systems are categorized and gazetted as such, because they have huge impact on our population, on our economy if they go down. And one of them is the TSC payroll system and many other systems that we continue to develop as a country. I hope the Minister for the CS for ICT is listening to me. Mr. Speaker, I keep on talking ICT matters in this House because I'm an expert in this area. But I am saddened that the people who run ICT matters in this country are clueless people. They do not understand this technology, Mr. Speaker. Starting from CA, the Ministry of ICT, ICT Authority, and everyone else who is involved, including the CS himself, the PS, they do not understand technology, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, even as we talk about digital economy, if we have the wrong people in these offices, we will not achieve the vision that we have in promoting digital economy and hence the economy of this country. This morning, I was listening to the news about e-citizen. How on earth could you allow a private institution to have a deal in managing a system that serves the entire country? A system that is actually the backbone of our e-government in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think we are not serious as a country. The other day I saw the Ministry of Education now has changed from NEMIS to KEMIS. It was just a simple name change. There was nothing major, Mr. Speaker. And billions of money has been spent. Even this system, Mr. Speaker, we have talked about this for ages. It is still has a lot of flaws and nothing seems to be working in terms of application of technology in government. In fact, the last serious attempt to ensure we have proper e-governance platform was during President Kibaki's time. The e-government processes in government have died, Mr. Speaker. So when we sit here and we are told, even in TSC, there is a problem. Ministry of Education, there is a problem. Treasury, there is a problem. Health share management system, there is a problem. We are better off if we do not want to apply technology. We go manual, Mr. Speaker. Instead of wasting money, wasting taxpayers' money to pretend to be doing technology when we are doing nothing, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Mungatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to make a brief intervention on the statement on the charges of irrigation waters brought to this House by Senator Murango. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to request the Committee of Agriculture, when they are looking at the issues around the water charges in Mwea, that they will also consider what is happening in Bura irrigation scheme in Tana River County. Mr. Speaker, the farmers have been under oppression of very high charges for water, even, Mr. Speaker, to the extent that the farmers complain that the water is so expensive that it makes no economic sense in terms of farming and the profits that must come. Mr. Speaker, the President paid a visit to Bura irrigation scheme, and he gave a directive that the water charges be reduced. Mr. Speaker, to date, that directive has not been effected, and the National Irrigation Authority has given no reason why they cannot effect that directive. Mr. Speaker, initially the justification was that water for irrigation was being pumped using diesel machine. But then now, Mr. Speaker, the President has inaugurated a system of gravity. Billions of shillings have been spent. Water now is flowing without the use of diesel-powered machines. But the water charges have remained high. Mr. Speaker, as the Committee of Agriculture looks at what is happening in Mwea in terms of water charges, I would invite them to also call the National Irrigation Authority. They tell us what is happening in Bura. They explain why they are defying a presidential directive. They should explain also to the people of Kenya and to the committee why, even after the irrigation system has now gone to gravity and there is no pumping of water, why they are still charging high charges and why they are oppressing the farmers. Mr. Speaker, I support that statement. Thank you.
Senator Edwin Sifuna.
Speaker, you know you gave directive on the other matter, but I just wanted to give some diagnosis of the problem as I see it between this house and the lower house. I think the problem is that the leadership of these two houses don't actually talk, not just at the Speaker's level, but even for us. So it is very difficult for members of the National Assembly to know exactly where the Senate is coming from when we raise some of these concerns. I talked to some of the leaders there, and they're actually surprised. They're actually surprised by the things we tell them we as a Senate are going through, including, Mr. Speaker, you are aware when I used to be a member of the SBC, our budgets for the system that we use in this house have been slashed for every year, actually. And they should see, because even my unit here keeps failing. This is a problem we have had for a very long time. And when we speak to members of the National Assembly, they're actually shocked that when they go on recess and we are here, even the kitchen is closed, because the entire parliament exists to serve the National Assembly, and the Senate is just like a small appendage there. But I believe conversations need to begin so that people don't view us as unnecessarily hostile or that we are in a fight. Conversations need to happen between the leadership of this house, and I'm part of that leadership. I can confirm these talks never happen. So even before that intergenerational conclave begins, we need one here in Parliament. Speaker, allow me to very briefly comment on the statement by Senator Wakili Hilary Sigei on the voiding of payments. On this particular issue, Honorable Speaker, I am a very proud member of the County Public Accounts Committee. A very proud member of the Public Accounts Committee. I am aware that Senator Onyonka has been on this business from day one, because he was saying in his county they were quite notorious. And even here in Nairobi, you have suppliers crying that their payments will go all the way to what they call iBank, IB. And then somehow they just disappear, and when the money is released by the control of budget, somebody else is paid. Speaker, I am aware that Governor of Central Bank, Kamau Thuge, actually appeared before the devolution committee of this house, and he told us that the CBK is going to tweak some technology there. And maybe we can send Ososi, who is our expert on ICT, to confirm that this has actually been done. He spoke of things that, of course, I would not recognize, but I'm sure Ososi knows. There's a system called Temenos T24 and something they call GDI, Granular Data Integration. And he has assured this house through the Committee of Devolution that there will no longer be possibility of county officials voiding transactions. Once the control of budget has released money to pay supplier X, it is no longer going to be possible for you to make those changes. And I think this house and Senator Onyonka, you can be very proud, because you have pushed this agenda from the beginning of this house. And I am happy that someone at the CBK has finally listened, and we are hoping that there will be a change. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Now, Honorable Members, the 15 minutes for comments on statement is over. We will For purposes of convenience of the House, we have got in the next order a number of bills for the Committee of the Whole, but we don't seem to have the numbers. I will therefore rearrange the order paper and ask the clerk to call order number 17. Motion.
Order number 17 is a motion, reports of the Standing Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relations on its inquiry into the state of markets in Vihiga and Bungoma counties, arising from a statement sought by Senator Godfrey Osotsi, MP, and Senator David Wakoli, MP. Resumption of debate.
Honorable Senators, this is a resumption of debate that was interrupted on 31st of July 2025, and when the House rose, Senator Godfrey Osotsi was on the floor contributing to this particular statement, and you still have got a balance of 12 minutes to conclude on your comments on this committee report. If you still have comments to make, you may utilize your 12 minutes that was remaining.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I had started commenting on the report by the Devolution Committee on the markets in Vihiga and Bungoma following the visit by the Committee of Devolution headed by my good friend, Senator for Wajir, who did a very good job to visit the two counties last year in June. Mr. Speaker, this report, I started by saying that there are very, very fundamental misleading information in this report. If you look at the report, it is giving figures which are not matching up, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there is a table there that shows that between 2018, 2019, all the way to 2023, 2024 financial years, a gap of 6 years, the county made a mere 82 million shillings, Mr. Speaker. But then, Mr. Speaker, there is a breakdown for July 2023 to May 2024 that shows that Luanda market alone made 35 million shillings. Clearly, even a school-going child will know that there is something fishy about this. So I want to request the Committee of Devolution to relook at the information that was provided by the county government of Vihiga on the revenues that are earned by markets in Vihiga County. Because Luanda alone, if Luanda alone in a span of 10 months could contribute 35 million, how about all the other markets, Chamagogo, Mudete, Chabakali, Mbale, Serem, even Luanda, Isibuye, in 6 years, how would they contribute only 82 million shillings? Mr. Speaker, some of the things that county government give to us in our committees are shocking, and this is one of them. So I will be asking, before we adopt this report, Mr. Speaker, I'll be asking the Committee of Devolution to relook at what was given to them and which they are put in the report, which is misleading, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, challenges of infrastructure in Vihiga County, in our markets, are real and serious, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, how would you operate a market without a toilet or without a functioning toilet? How would you operate a market without drainage, without water, without everything, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, I want to request the committee, even after we have passed this report, to go back and ensure that the recommendations which they have given are complied with, because we cannot continue seeing things go in the wrong direction, and yet our people are paying taxes to the county government religiously, Mr. Speaker. And in some cases, the traders are even facing very serious sanctions from the county for not paying taxes. But after they pay, they are not getting better services, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have serious issues around beautification. For example, if you go to Mbale town, Mr. Speaker, there was an amount that was given by the Kenya Urban Support Program. But look at the beautification, Mr. Speaker. It is not worth the amount of money that has been put there, Mr. Speaker. So I request the committee to really get proper data from the county government on how much money was spent to tarmac the 4.6 kilometer Ikulu Road from Mbale to passing through the governor's house all the way down there. How much it costs. Mr. Speaker, cabros in various markets like Mudete, Majengo, Chavakali, particularly for non-motorized roads. It is not worthy. It is not worthy, even in terms of quality, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issue of construction of biodigester within Vihiga municipality. This is another thing, Mr. Speaker. Why would we have a biodigester? The entire Vihiga county does not even have a sewage plant, Mr. Speaker. Why would they invest money in biodigester when they can put money through support of investors and even through allocation that this house gives to put money in a proper sewage plant, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, most of the high-mast floodlights are not working because of non-payment of electricity, Mr. Speaker. And some are non-functional, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have issues of congestion, especially in markets like Serem, markets like Mbale, Chavakali, Majengo, and Luanda. This problem can be resolved by putting up stroller markets so that to manage inadequacy in space, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the serious issue of garbage collection is serious, particularly in Luanda and Majengo and Mbale and the Serem markets, Mr. Speaker. And all this is captured in the report, and I hope that the report, once passed by this House, should be taken very seriously by the county government of Vihiga to ensure that our people are provided with the services they need. Mr. Speaker, Vihiga County main source of on-source revenue is markets. They have nowhere else they can collect money. The control of budget has estimated that the county has a potential of 1 billion shillings on on-source revenue. But there is only 300 million shillings, Mr. Speaker. The reason is these markets are not properly resourced to generate money. The other reason is misappropriation of the revenues that are raised in this market, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is a very important report, and I expect that, as the report says, that they would want to get a status report from the county government of Vihiga within 6 months after adoption of this report, so that we know what has been done. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank this House for, through the new formula, that Vihiga County has been able to get an additional 800 million shillings. These 800 million shillings, Mr. Speaker, and I'm going to bring a statement here, to direct them where to put that money. And one area is to put in improving the infrastructure of markets in Vihiga County, Mr. Speaker, because that is the main source of on-source revenue in that county, so that more money is realized through on-source revenue, and we stop complaining that we are not able to develop because we are small. We are having also a serious problem around there. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issue of appointment of municipal managers, this problem was resolved, but I also want to call upon the county government to fast track, Mr. Speaker, the achievement of municipal status for Cheptulu Market and the Luanda Market. Cheptulu Market, because, Mr. Speaker, this is the main market that serves the Kaimos area, where we have Kaimos Complex, Kaimos Schools, Kaimos University, and even serves Nandi County. It deserves to be a proper municipality, Mr. Speaker. I wish to request that the county government puts more focus around there. Luanda Market, the same, Mr. Speaker. Luanda Market is the main transit market to Uganda, Mr. Speaker. All the vehicles towards Uganda pass through Luanda Market. Luanda Market also serves 4 counties, Mr. Speaker. Siaya, Kakamega, Kisumu, Vihiga, and Busia, Mr. Speaker. So it is very critical that that process be fast-tracked. Mr. Speaker, with the issue of revenue figures resolved, I want to commend the devolution committee for the good work they have done, and I want to request them that after the adoption of this report, they need to have a program to follow up on the recommendation of this report to ensure that the people of Vihiga get the benefit of having markets, of investing in these markets, so that we continue to raise our income levels through on-source revenue. Mr. Speaker, with that request for amendment or relooking at the issue of revenues, I support the report, and I request the members to also support the report so that this will now serve as an example to other counties which have similar problems in the way the markets are being managed by the county government. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Boni Halwale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my notes are being brought. I'll come after the next person.
Senator Onyonka.
Mr. Speaker, I wanted to first of all congratulate my brother Osotsi for having brought this issue to the bearing of the members in this House. Number 2, I want to thank my chair, Honorable Abbas, who in the devolution committee has stood studiously and listening carefully for us to interrogate the issues. Mr. Speaker, what I wanted to mention is that, and in this case I want to plead to Kenyans and most probably to members of this House, because Honorable Halwale, this House is the last line of defense for devolution in this republic. And I think we as members of this committee should look at it a bit differently than we have looked at before. It is true, I've heard Honorable Sosi say the expected revenue that Vihiga County is supposed to get is about 1 billion shillings a year. And yet they're only collecting 300 million. Mr. Speaker, if you check, the recent one that I checked out was Kiambu County, where the governor, through some miracles, has actually for the first time, from collectible revenue, which was 1.1 billion, he has hit 6.2 billion. If that is not interesting to us, then I don't know what can make us realize it is interesting. The only thing that the governor did, and I had to call him and ask him, Speaker, he just changed the financial platform. He did what Kangata has done in Muranga. Look at what Kangata got last year. From 226 billion, he crossed over to 1.5 billion. All right, 226 million. Now, what we've been saying, Mr. Speaker, is this. Why can't all our governors be magnanimous and agree with us? Just the way we are using the IFMI system, let us use a financial system that is managing the money from the markets of those counties that have succeeded. Why can't all counties sit down and agree from what Kiambu has done and what Muranga has done? These are cases scientifically that you can prove. So we adopt the financial system that has been producing results instead of us doing the nonsense that we're busy doing. Mr. Speaker, if you come to again the other issue that Honorable Sosi has raised, look at the IFMI system. The IFMI system is the one which runs the procurement, runs the payments. Look at the way we are handling pending bills within the county governments. And of course, I want to thank my colleagues
Senator Onyonka, there is a point of order here. What is your point of order, Senator?
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with the passionometer of Senator Onyonka in contribute, but is it in order for him to use unparliamentary language? Because in the engagement we have had in the floor of the House, the word nonsense does not appear anywhere in parliamentary. Would he withdraw and apologize so that we can feel his passionometer on the matter?
Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The problem with my senior counsel, Cherargei, does not understand that nonsense means nothing. So it's not a derogatory term. I understand you went to Kaplamai Primary, you know those things.
Senator Onyonka.
And I was going to St. Mary's, you know these diaspora, you know these things. With a very light touch, Mr. Speaker. So I want to say...
Senator Onyonka, Senator Cherargei is not a senior counsel, number one, he's a counsel. And he has a point of order. Could you take your seat?
Yes.
Under Standing Order 105 on statement of fact, Mr. Speaker, while I appreciate there is a good school, Kaplamai Primary School, I never went to that school. Would it be in order for the senator to withdraw and apologize for misleading the House? Yet I attended the great school called St. Francis Cheptarit Catholic Church, Catholic Primary School. And I went to the great school of Kapsabet Boys High School, where the second and the fourth president attend, and possibly the seventh will come from, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order can you withdraw and apologize?
Senator Onyonka, just confirm that the school that Senator Cherargei attended is not the one you referred to.
Mr. Speaker, the school that I thought he attended is not the one, but I recognize and reevaluate my interpreting his capacity, and I would like to say you've done very well. I want to give the accolade and the respect you deserve without diluting my real meaning. Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, I will rush through this by mentioning that we need to look at the issue.
Senator Boni Halwale, there is a point of order still, Senator Onyonka.
Mr. Speaker, I rise on Standing Order number 105, and as a good neighbor of the Nandi County and the Nandi people, is the Senator of Kisii in order to impute improper motive against Kaplamai Primary School, the students of Kaplamai Primary School, the teachers and the parents. If he has any problems for the bad English spoken by the Senator of Nandi, he should, Mr. Speaker, make it clear and not extend it to the Kaplamai community, Mr. Speaker. Can he withdraw and apologize?
Senator Boni Halwale, I will not take that as a proper point of order. Conclude your comments, Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think my colleagues
Senator
do not...
Order, please. Allow Senator Onyonka to conclude. Allow Senator Onyonka to conclude. Proceed, Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted to mention to my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, protect me from Cherargei.
Allow him to conclude. Allow him to conclude. Senator Onyonka, the floor is yours.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. They have really destabilized my thinking pattern, but I'll pick up. I wanted to mention that even when we are looking at the weighty issues...
Senator Cherargei, you are out of order, and I'm giving you the first one. Senator Onyonka, if you want to conclude, proceed. If you do not want to...
I want to conclude and I'll proceed. I wanted to mention that the county governments are the last line of defense for Kenyans, for the simple reason that funds have been devolved. For some of us who've been through this, historically, educationally, or whichever ways, trying to understand what the problem for Africa have been. The problem has been resource allocation, resource mobilization, resource misallocation, and wastage within our systems. And therefore, what we have is functional. County governments can work if leadership wants it to work. We are now mismanaging our bursaries. We are now mismanaging our pending bills. We are mismanaging our bursaries that are going to schools and colleges. And although that data is available with the reports that exist within PIC, PAC, and Devolution Committee. And Mr. Speaker, the other thing I wanted to tell my colleagues here, if you are able to talk to our governors, we must agree that we are going to have a structure and a financial system that is watertight and is tamper-proof. That is why I completely agree with the government position of bringing in the e-citizen payments. That is a good call, but can you make sure it is end-to-end and scripted, and let us make sure that this e-citizen is being run by the Treasury instead of it being run by a private company. Number two, Mr. Speaker, you notice under the education sector, which goes through ECD centers at the county governments, I can assure you, Mr. Speaker, we don't have a system where we know the number of kids that we have, the schools they're going to, what they are being paid, and all these structures, which are essentially structural in the management of the financials of the county governments, have a problem. One of the issues, I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, you've seen, because you sit in this house, I have constantly argued, all the money I make, KRA knows what it is. All the money that I pay, KRA knows what I pay. All the money that I use, KRA knows where this money is. Why are the county governments refusing to allow the Kenya Revenue Authority to have an interface with the system that they are going to introduce that will run the financials within our county governments? I think, Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I really am happy. I accept and recommend the Committee of Devolution, where I sit, that the last maybe point I can raise to the members in this House, Mr. Speaker, without sounding negative or derogatory, can we please get out of this building and go to the villages and see what the money that we allocate is doing? We don't spend enough time at the villages. We are not looking at what is happening in education. We don't know what is happening in agriculture. We don't know what is happening in all these things. And yet we sit here throughout the year. We spend most probably 6 months. And yet I wish that we could actually start moving from county to county, discussing the very important things that are bothering our public, because the public is suffering a lot. Mr. Speaker, what I noticed, and this is the last comment I'll make, every place we have visited, whether it is Turkana, whether it's Mandera, whether it is Wajir, whether it is Kakamega, all the areas that we have visited as various committees of this House, next time we went there, there was an improvement. So the general feeling I have is, let members of the committees and members of this Senate, we create a program by discussing amongst ourselves so that we can visit these county governments, we visit county employees, we visit the county infrastructure, visit the roads, let's see what is there. That is the only way we can be proactive and we can intervene before everything gets out of hand. With those very many remarks, Mr. Speaker, I want to say I support and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to contribute on this matter.
Before I allow Senator Mungatana to speak to this bill, I want to assure the Senator for Nandi that there is nothing called bad English. So what exists is what can hurt. What does not exist, which is the bad English, does not in any way hurt you. And therefore, you should rest assured that there isn't anything harmful to you on that. Senator Mungatana Danson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I want to take the opportunity to commend the chair of this committee and the team, the Committee on Devolution and Intergovernmental Relationship, Senator Abbas, and the team for the good work they have done. Mr. Speaker, I want to echo the words of Senator Onyonka, that every time members of the Senate, through their committees, they visit the counties for whatever purposes, the next time that they go there, there is improved services, especially on issues that were targeted. So yes, we want to continue encouraging these kinds of visits. So I want to commend my colleagues for the work they did and say just a few things. The status of these markets in Vihiga County, the status of these markets that have been listed here, from Mbale all the way to Shamaholo, Esibuye, and so on. Mr. Speaker, the report reflects the situation that is obtaining within other counties, including my own county, Tana River County. Mr. Speaker, one of the biggest problems that our people ask, and the questions they ask, is that why are we paying, why are we paying the county government these monies and we don't get services for the monies that we pay to the county government? And Mr. Speaker, my own county, there was a time Bura Market had a fire. And when you ask what was the cause of that fire, Mr. Speaker, it goes down again to the fact that there are no services that the county government is giving to those people. Mr. Speaker, there's massive congestion for that particular space where people are supposed to be carrying out their trade. Mr. Speaker, poor electricity connectivity within that area. You'll find there are a lot of connections, and if anything goes wrong with one of those small kibandas, then it spreads to the entire or a good part of the market. And Mr. Speaker, this happens under the watch of the county government. There is no proper drainage system that has been created, and yet those traders are paying money to the county government. So, Mr. Speaker, something needs to be done, and it needs to be done urgently. I remember very well, Mr. Speaker, when Bura Market caught fire. The market just caught fire, and people could not explain what is happening. It was something later on, it was explained as an electrical hazard. But in fact, Mr. Speaker, it's because of the congestion, the lack of supervision. The only thing that the county government is interested in is collecting the money from the traders, but they are not interested in giving services to our people. Mr. Speaker, can you believe a county, a market as big as that in the county does not have a single public toilet, and yet the traders are paying money? Mr. Speaker, the indictment is great against the county government of Tana River. Mr. Speaker, you have ministers who never visit these markets because they know that they have failed to offer services to the people. Particularly, Mr. Speaker, in Bura, Manyata, Mr. Speaker. There was a program about drainage of the storm waters when it comes. But, Mr. Speaker, some fake work was done. And where they have excavated, and it's supposed to be to take away storm waters when drainage, for the drainage that was supposed to be constructed, it has become, in fact, the place to dump garbage from the market because there is no garbage collecting system within that market. So, Mr. Speaker, while I commend this report and the things it has unearthed, it is important for governors to listen, particularly the governor of Tana River, to go to these markets, because the fellow doesn't just go. He's not aware of what is happening. The ministers don't go to those places, and people feel neglected. Yet you are the same person who looked for votes from those people. Even ministers and county officials, they may escape the blame because they didn't ask for anybody's vote. Then they just got employment, and they can neglect employment if they are not disciplined. Is the problem of the management. But you who went and got the vote and said you will improve the services, you who is collecting money from those people, and you don't build a single toilet in Bura town, Mr. Speaker, the market, it is a shame. So, Mr. Speaker, even as we adapt these reports, we want to encourage our governors to be more sympathetic to our people. They struggle so much, Mr. Speaker, to raise the money, the revenues that you collect and you call on-source revenue. Our women are working even without covers, you know, these vibandas, the covers that are supposed to protect them against the sun. They put their wares across on the floor. The border shades are not there. And you are collecting money from these people. Mr. Speaker, I hope as we approve this report that a message is sent to the governors that please serve the people who elected you. Visit them and spend time with them. Because as senators, we will point out these issues to you. But the money goes to the coffers of the county government. And the county government is supposed to make sure that the issues that the people are telling us are resolved. Mr. Speaker, with those very many remarks, Madam Speaker, I beg to support this report again. Really congratulate the Intergovernmental Relations Devolution Committee for the good work they have done. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Omtata.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to address this august House. I stand to support the two reports on the state of the markets in Bungoma and in Vihiga counties. The reports are an expose of the sorry nature of things that are happening on the ground. And when I read through these reports, I see a replica of what is happening in my own county of Busia. It's really unbelievable that we have got these big markets and hardly any services being rendered by the county government. You even go to big markets like Malaba in Busia, and the last time I checked, there was no public toilet. No public toilet. So people have to go and look for private facilities to help themselves out. Madam Speaker, markets are one of the core functions of county governments. And markets are supposed to be major revenue sources for the county, our devolved unit systems of government. But when you look at what is going on across the board, not just in Vihiga and Bungoma, or in Busia, or in Kakamega, or in Tana Rivers, the distinguished senator who has spoken before me has said, you find that they are largely neglected. We look at the world today, and we keep on saying that the way forward is trade. And how are you going to have trade if we are not having trade in areas which are properly governed, properly managed, and some which can secure even the quality of the items that people buy? Some markets are extremely dirty, unfit for human occupation. And I'm not talking about, if you just go to a few kilometers from Parliament here, down in Marikiti, down wherever, you find the markets are so dirty. You wonder what the county governments are doing, yet they collect a lot of revenue from there. Why they can't reinvest, I don't understand. On-source revenue from these markets is opaque. We can't know what is going on. And you'll find that the declarations, as Senator Osoti has put it, are hardly clear. They don't make logic. Like the figures they are shown from his own Vihiga County. The figures don't add up. And yet this is happening, and we have got institutions like the anti-corruption, we have institutions like the auditor, what do you call it? The police. We have got an economic crimes unit in the CID. I've never understood why we have left it to civilians, headed by a retired bishop, to deal with economic crimes in this country. Under Article 247, Parliament is empowered to set up a special police unit if it needs to deal with an issue. And I don't think that police unit was supposed to be the Anti-Corruption Commission. The police unit that is supposed to be set up by Parliament has to be under the Inspector General. So this idea that you have got a law enforcement organ out of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is one of the things we need to look seriously into. First of all, they are very thin, spread thin, they are not there. Like in Busia, they don't even have an office. You have to go to Bungoma to access one. So how do they enforce the law in Busia? Yet you have got a police station almost in every sub-county headquarters. At least you have got a good police station there. So I'm seriously thinking that to deal with these issues of the proliferation of the theft of public funds, we need to go back and look at the Constitution. Look at Article 79. See what the Anti-Corruption Commission has been set up to do. It is supposed to enforce Chapter 6. Chapter 6 has got nothing to do with crime fighting. Chapter 6 is to enforce a code of conduct. Chapter 6 is a code of conduct. The EACC is supposed to enforce that code of conduct. We go back to the Economic Crimes Act of 2003, I think, where before the Constitution was, the current Constitution was created and put into force, we had nobody that had been appointed to be fighting corruption. But if you look at our Constitution today, matters crime are exclusively to be dealt with by the police. When you go to the CID, they've got a whole department on economic crimes. So the question is, why are we letting the EACC cover up for these people who are messing up? The EACC has no capacity to begin with. There are very few people. Secondly, there are civilians headed by a retired bishop. And you have got all this infrastructure of the DCI across the country that could be open and could be utilized by the people to ensure that we rein in this runaway misappropriation of public funds. The biggest issue with our market is that people pay taxes, they get no services, and that money is not accounted for. We need to get a way of enforcing the law. And to enforce the law, we must. And we must look at the foundational issues that are causing us not to be able to click when it comes to the question of law enforcement in matters of theft. Theft by public servants. You realize these matters of platforms. We have platforms that have been known to be used for stealing from the public, and I've got major cases. We had something which they used to call Web Tribe. Jumbo Pay, Web Tribe, whatever it's called now. You find that rogue governments use it. And after fleecing Nairobi, I think Meru, I think the National Health Insurance Fund, they are now the people supposed to be collecting funds in Busia. So why are these people not being blacklisted and locked away from engaging with the public? They have messed up in Nairobi, they have messed up elsewhere, they have stolen public funds, they are still being allowed to contract with county governments. We will never get to the bottom of this thing unless we tie this, and we also need to look at these markets. We have got a facility improvement laws that are allowing the facilities to retain funds that they collect to be used to improve those facilities, and only the excess is what goes to the national coffers or to the county coffers. Why can't we have an arrangement similar so that we ring fence money raised in markets to first of all provide services for that market? If there's an excess, then that money can be taken to the county revenue fund or elsewhere. So I plead with this House that we consider seriously coming up with a mechanism like what you have done for the health facilities, the facility improvement funds, so that we can have a facility improvement funds or market improvement funds, whatever we want to call it, so that these markets that are producing a lot of money are first of all taken care of from the money they generate before we give that money out to do other things in the county or to do other things in the national government. Maybe that way we'll be able to improve the service delivery and not rely to the money going to the county revenue fund and then coming back. And you look at some of the things that they do, that are highly inflated, substandard works that take place, and at the end of the day, we entrench poverty, because if we can't utilize our resources to create wealth, then we have no business being called leaders in this country. Because the only function a leader has from where I stand is to convert resources into wealth. Now, if our people are so resourceful, but they operate in squalor, yet they're generating a lot of wealth, what are we up to? We need to take action. And I want to thank my brother senators from Bungoma and Vihiga for having brought this request for statements that have basically opened the can of worms that is eating up our markets across the country. The other thing about markets is that the national government has taken over the function of building markets from the county governments. There's a lot of money coming in from the national governments to go and build build markets. Why can that money be channeled through proper lines so that we can know that this money was budgeted for, either as additional grants or whatever it is they are giving to the counties, and then we know clearly what has happened. You just hear that a market is being put up somewhere by the national government, so many hundreds of millions of shillings are being utilized, a contractor is being sent on the ground to begin implementing projects. You don't know how this contractor was funded, was sourced. You don't know what kind of product is supposed to give the people in terms of the market. Sometimes you find markets being located in areas that traders refuse to patronize, and yet public funds are being spent. So why are we having all this disconnect? I think if the national government wants to assist the county governments, they do so through the normal structures, not in an episodic manner, whereby allocations are being made on the basis of friendship or on the basis of proximity to the president. We have had the question of the broad-based government. When you look at when you ask for the justification for the broad-based government, you are told that the ODM had to intervene to save the Kenya Kwanza government from collapse. I was just trying to look at it as an analogy. If somebody is very sick in a hospital and he needs a blood transfusion, you don't just go for any blood. You can only take blood transfusion from the blood type, the type group. They have to be the same type groups. So this is a revelation that the blood group in ODM is the same as the blood group in Kenya Kwanza was very, very important revelation for us. So that because there's no way unless ODM had the same blood group, there's no way it could infuse blood into Kenya Kwanza and give Kenya Kwanza life. So this
Senator Mtata, what is the link of what you're saying to the market, the report you're speaking to?
Yes, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm trying to tell our people that ODM was supposed to be in the opposition, doing oversighting the government. And yet it was not in the opposition. They had the same blood group as the Kenya Kwanza group, and so it was able to donate blood and give life to Kenya Kwanza. And so when we come back to the issue of markets, I'm trying to say that the oversight of this house is in total confusion. We don't know who is who. And that's why we are failing. We don't know where the opposition is. We don't know where the government is. We don't know who is who. So that's why we find that it's very difficult to enforce oversight when people can just move across and interface, and they they become the mirror images of each other that way. So I bring that thing of the blood transfusion to show you that we do not have, for honest, because if ODM did not have the same blood group as Kenya Kwanza, ODM's entry into Kenya Kwanza should have killed Kenya Kwanza. But Kenya Kwanza was stabilized. And so the link I'm trying to bring out is that if we want to do proper oversight, we also need to clean up our politics. We need to have principled politics. We need to have politics that are centered on proper positions, because where Kenya Kwanza had reached, where it was not functional, I would have expected ODM to demand that the Kenya Kwanza government resigns so that we have new elections.
Senator Omtata.
No, that the Kenya Kwanza...
Can you please make a link? You are contributing to the report of the intergovernmental relations. Is it your view that report is not an oversight report? Can you make a link of what you're saying to the report?
I'm saying that, you see, the markets are now being built in a haphazard manner by the national government without respecting the distinction between the roles of the county government and the national government. And I'm saying when you come into political parties, the distinction between opposition and the government is no longer there. So we are so there's that analogy I'm trying to create of blood transfusion. ODM had the same blood group as Kenya Kwanza. That's why it could transfuse blood that saved Kenya Kwanza. Otherwise, ODM should have demanded that Kenya Kwanza resigns so that we have elections and we get to have a new start in this country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Boni Khalwale.
Hey. Madam Speaker, I thank you for this chance. And I want to express my satisfaction with the industry by your committee, where you are the vice chair, and my brother Mohammed is the chair. Madam Speaker, you will notice that purely by coincidence, the debate today is about markets in Bungoma County and markets in Vihiga. And because markets play a key role in the economies not only of these two counties, but by extension, all the 5 counties of the former Western Province. I therefore want to speak very candidly to the Governor of Trans Nzoia, Bungoma, Kakamega, Vihiga, and Busia, that we are expecting a lot from them. And if the report of this committee on the 2 counties is anything to go by, then they have missed our expectations by miles. Madam Speaker, just in this House, 18.2 billion shillings was afforded for budget in Kakamega County. 15.6 billion for Bungoma County. 9.3 billion for the Trans Nzoia County. 9.2 billion for the Busia County and 8 billion for the Vihiga County. How on earth, Madam Speaker, could it be that despite all these billions of shillings, when you move across the 5 counties, there is no visibility of development? Senator Osotsi, Senator Wakoli, myself, Senator Chesang, Okiya Omtatah, there is something wrong in our home counties. And if we do not raise our voices, if we pursue this route of us being organized here in Nairobi, that either you belong to the opposition or to the government, or you are part of the misunderstood or ununderstood thing called the broad-based, we will sink even further. We will spend all our working hours, Senator Omtatah, thinking about how nice, how God-sent the broad-based government was, when in actual effect, poverty continues to rise in our backyards. Madam Speaker, when you look at these counties, these billions, and of course, as expected, our share from the 85% that remains at the national government is supposed to open our economy. How do you expect the markets in Vihiga, for example, to be optimally productive if the infrastructure is not opened? Vihiga trades with Kakamega, trades with Nandi. And if you go to come from Kakamega to go and do business in Vihiga, in Jeptul, in Mudete, in Shamahoho, and in Serem, Madam Speaker, it is impossible. Why? Because the national government has been promising our people, election after election, including the election of 2022, that they will fix the road infrastructure. 3 budgets after we won the election in 2022, Senator Osotsi, I wonder, why is it still impossible to fix the road from Hamisi to Shamahoho, Shamahoho to Kaimosi, Kaimosi to Muhudu, Muhudu to Impaka, Impaka to Shiveye, Shiveye to Museno in Kakamega, so that our people can do business? And this is a project which, Madam Speaker, with due respect, when we were attempting to win the election in 2022, we did regional economic caucuses where we identified the potential areas. And now that Azimio, which did the same exercise with Kenya Kwanza, they are both in the same government. In fact, Azimio is now holding the purse strings. They are at the National Treasury. Why is it difficult? Or is there something wrong if development is tweaked to go to the counties of Western Kenya? Senator Osotsi, something is wrong. In fact, Peter Kibisu is standing in his grave. The man who stood in this house and voted against government when himself at that time was assistant minister. Henry Pius Masinde Muliro, the same afternoon, he voted against government in this house, despite being Minister of Lands. Both of them were sacked because they believed in good governance. They were voting because, Madam Speaker, they were being forced on some principle called collective responsibility, and Masinde Muliro, Peter Kivisu, Elijah Weske Mwangale said that Abaluya people do not support killing of people, and they refused to endorse the report that was revealing who killed Josiah Mwangi Kariuki. We come from that pedigree, and therefore we must stand in this house and demand that national resources must also go to our region. I am not in the same mindset like the guy of shares, but sometimes there are certain aspects about the guy of shares that had nothing wrong. For example, when he was saying development should go to the mountain, I mean, that is what government is all about. That's what representation is all about. You can see my sister Beatrice Ogola these days, with due respect, she walks with a glow on the face because things are flowing into Homa Bay. Madam Speaker, this is the way it's supposed to be. And Beatrice Ogola, do not apologize for pushing that things go to Homa Bay. I would like us to also learn from Beatrice Ogola and Moses Kajwang in this house.
What's your point of order,
Madam
Senator
Speaker,
Beatrice?
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker.
Are you ambushing me?
Is the majority whip insinuating that Homa Bay does not deserve services from this government?
No.
Yeah, we are Kenyans. We are county 043. Yes. Yeah, and we deserve all the services. In fact, Madam Speaker, we expect more than what we have gotten.
Senator Beatrice, what is your point of order?
I didn't insinuate that.
Senator Halwada, you can proceed.
Thank you. Beatrice, you know, I was admiring
Senator Halwada, you address the House through the chair.
Yes.
Do
Madam Chair, I admire Beatrice Ogola, Moses Kajwang, and the governor of Homa Bay. I don't know how they do it. Do you know, in 9 short months, Madam Speaker, they have so admirably managed to convince the national government to put up an infrastructure of water worth 787 million shillings. I was chatting with the Honorable Kaluma this morning at a committee, and he told me he's so proud because they now have got a network within Homa Bay Town of 137 kilometers of tarmac road in the last 9 months. So I'm just saying, you're doing a good job, but when you hear me insist that Kakamega should also get, it doesn't mean I don't like Homa Bay. You have set a good standard, and we all should put pressure on the president so that what he's doing in Homa Bay, he should also do it in Kisi, in Kakamega, in Mandera. No, in Mandera you have got Olugado, the long road of 700 kilometers. Madam Speaker, this is devolution. And if we continue pushing the way we are pushing, then the marginalization that we used to worry about, that was in the former North Frontier districts of Northeastern, will befall some of us. And we are not going to accept it. And this is why we were voted for. Madam Speaker, the people now speaking about the markets that are in this report and my neighbors. When you go to Serem, my great-great-grandmother was a girl born in Serem. She was called Lubandua. The same market in Serem, you go there are no public toilets. Madam Speaker, the state-of-the-art transport system in Serem Market, in Shamahoho, is border. Our children are forever exposed along the roadside. They are hit by trucks. Madam Speaker, most of them, they are exposed to sunlight and rain because there are no border sheds. These are the drivers of our economy. Madam Speaker, as her daughter, who we happily handed over to Kisumu, but who was born in the same place like me, you know Shamahoho. Shamahoho is the only market in Kenya which has a population of 2,000 to 3,000 shillings. 2,000 to 3,000 people doing business, selling bananas, green vegetables that we eat here in Nairobi, Madam Speaker, without any land. They are all standing alongside the road in Shamahoho. How Akaranga, who was the first governor, and how Tichilo, who has been governor now, is running into 10 years, they have not found it necessary to move people who are next to that roadside, resettle them elsewhere, and expand this market. I don't know what leadership means to these two brothers of mine. Madam Speaker, this report really angers me that despite the brisk business I see in Serem, in Jeptul, at Kaimosi Junction, at Shamahoho, at Mago, at Savatia, at Modete, at Jabakali, Esibuye, Ilwanda, they are telling us that they collect only 13 million shillings per year. That's what they say in this report. That is not even half of what is collected at Khayaga Market only in Kakamega. And yet the same business theory, borders, Mamamboga, Mutumba, is what takes place there. So why are we collecting more money in Khayaga than at Chabakale? For your information, Senator Osoti, Chabakale Market, as you know the history, you people stole it from us in Kakamega. It is called Ishia Bakali. It is not Chabakale. At Chabakale Market, Ishia Bakali, for your information, Chabakale Market, which is more or less the same size like Khayaga, it is a better economy because it runs for almost 24 hours a day. And yet, they collect nothing. These people are just sharing that money. It is open theft. I therefore want to pay my respects to the Senator of Kisii, because I have heard you again and again, you've always insisted that we must standardize the electronic collection of revenue. Because in your own words, if it has succeeded in Murang'a, if it has succeeded in Kiambu, if it has succeeded in Meru, why can't we use the same system? We have never suffered any consequences of using a uniform INFI system in the whole country. We should stop this theft. I wish a guy who believes in integrity like Onyonga was to become either the chairman of EACC, or better, you become the director of DCI, Madam Speaker, so that we can arrest all these people. Senator Onyonga, you better be careful.
Senator Halwale, you don't address
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Back to business. I just wanted to warn Madam Speaker that Senator Nyamu is threatening that she can derail him. I don't know how she wants to derail him on matters of integrity. I thought you are a woman of great integrity. I know you as a woman of great integrity. Madam Speaker, Mbale Market. Mbale Market, this report, Senator Osoti, what do we do? How can we have the headquarters of the great people of Vihiga, called Mbale, being the state it is? Why? Even if you just come only to Malinya Market, I deliberately, when I saw that the district headquarters was coming there, I deliberately moved families and resettled them elsewhere using CDF, so that we could create land where we can have infrastructure. You come to Malinya, we have graded land, 20 acres, you have a stadium, you have the hospital, not 20, 30, 10 for the hospital, the stadium. We have created that. Why can't the imagination of governors be such that they create land in Mbale, for Mbale to be a headquarters? Every time I go for a drink at Nzogu, I pass through the market there in the evening, and our people love business. They love business. But then you can't drive through because they do the business on the road. We need to even ensure that the planning department, the city planning department, whether you call it city or town or whatever they call it, should actually be functional so that our people can be given an opportunity to enjoy doing business. I was listening to the former deputy president when he was in the US. He was truly misguided. In fact, if I had had any regrets for casting a vote to get him out of public office, Madam Speaker, I felt vindicated. The guy was telling the diaspora that the economy of Kenya is run by the men and women from Mrima. Madam Speaker, that kind of insult coming from a leader who had the opportunity, Madam Speaker, to be a DO in Nabaholo, in Kakamega, cannot be excusable. When the former DP was a DO in Nabaholo, an adult like me was an adult like him, he knows what he did to sugarcane farmers. He knows what he did to the shares of Moko in Mumias. He cannot go and insult us because the bad constitution that was there forced the presidency to stay in Mount Kenya for tens and tens of years, and in the process they erode on the dictatorship of the executive to enjoy economic emancipation at the expense of the rest of us. He cannot then vomit on our shoes. I'm surprised that he even dared to field a candidate in Malaba constituency by-election if he detests our people to that extent. You tell people that they don't participate in the economy of the republic and you want to go and win an election in Malaba? Kashagwa, party leader of DCP, I wish you good luck in Malaba constituency. A time is coming, and that time is soon. Some people will have to respect us. People cannot be using election in, election out to get votes. And when they come in office, they disrespect us, they economically marginalize us, and Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, they attempt to humiliate us. No, we cannot accept. We are men. We are children of women. We are fathers of children. Our expectations in life are the same as everybody's. We do not want any community to be left behind in Kenya. All communities must move at the same pace. I support.
Senator Asige, where is she? Senator Ogola, while she comes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Majority Whip, I never quarreled you. I only confirmed your assertions.
Order, Senator Khalwale and Senator Beatrice, you cannot exchange. You only speak through the chair. Contribute, Senator.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, through your chair, I want to emphasize that the same respect that Senator Khalwale has talked about
on their region is the same respect ODM as a party calls for from each one of us. Madam Speaker, there was a reference of a blood group, and I wondered which blood group the Speaker was looking for, because the blood group that has delivered credible achievements in this country also comes from ODM. But Madam Speaker, as I rise to support this, I want to say and to tell all those shareholders that ODM as a party owes you nothing. That we cannot be your friend when you want and be your enemy when we want. ODM as a party has values that we follow, has principles that has kept us, and we will go by that principle and by the leadership of that
Senator Ogola,
party.
please focus on contribution to the report of the devolution and intergovernmental relations.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. As I focus on that, Madam Speaker, we also would like to tell every other person that stop your obsession with your reference to our party. Stick to what you like and enjoy your tea where you are. We know where we are coming from as a party, and we know where we are going to, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, coming back to this, I want to say that, Madam Speaker, markets are the lifelines of our people and the lifeline of county governments and our people in general, as I've said, Madam Speaker. And I want to support that other than the counties that have been mentioned, every marketplace in this republic, every town, all the urban areas, Madam Speaker, they serve some markets. And that is why I support the initiatives that are going on in the Department of Urban Development, of the Ministry, of the construction of modern markets across the country. All that we are asking for, that this should happen in all the market, all the urban centers in this country. Madam Speaker, it is pathetic to see the state of certain markets in this republic. Our people, the business people and business women in this country, deserve to do their businesses with dignity, Madam Speaker. And that's why when you see certain markets being constructed, we support that, and we say that the infrastructure being put in those markets are a key requirement of our people. Madam Speaker, our people's livelihoods are run across these markets with the businesses that are done. But as I've said, Madam Speaker, our business people require decency. Madam Speaker, when I narrow down, even to where I come from, that is their constituency, I personally, as somebody coming from that sub-county, would like to see modern markets in most of our urban centers. Kodiera Market was done sometimes back with Her Excellency Governor Wanga when she was a woman rep. It was great then, but Madam Speaker, I feel with the population that is there, all of us are getting to Homa Bay County in the next few days as we go to attend the devolution conference. And I know, Madam Speaker, on your way to Mbita, you have often seen the busy market on the highway as you go to Mbita called Kodiera Market. There are women selling potatoes there. There are few of you, especially the believers of shares, who think that businesses are only a limit to their region. Come to over devolution, Madam Speaker, take a ride to Mbita town. You'll see our women doing thriving businesses, selling potatoes, selling green maize, and all the fresh produce by the road. Governor Wanga constructed a market, but because of the increasing population, Madam Speaker, They have overshoot that market, and I'm looking forward that the government, through this program of modern markets or the economic stimulus, will put a market not only to the Kodera business people, but even to my ward market referred to as Mirogi. Mirogi, Madam Speaker, is an old center. You have the parish just next to this, or by the center there, and that center serves the schools around the parish center. We have the Mirogi boys, we have the Mirogi girls, we have the Mirogi boarding primary school. Madam Speaker, I'm only telling you that there's a population that is served by that market. But if you go there, Madam Speaker, today, you'll find that our women are selling on the ground, Madam Speaker. And when the rains come, like we've had in the previous weeks, we've had heavy rains in my region. It is so pathetic because we have to purchase fresh vegetables, fresh produce, including tomatoes and onions, but the women are selling on the ground, Madam Speaker. They have to spread some sacks or all manner of paper bags to sell their wares. So, Madam Speaker, I expect that Mirogi will get a modern market soon. We have Magena market, also thriving market that is in North Kaboch Ward in Dewa that deserves a decent market. We have Sikwadi, which is also thriving. We have Ombo, which is the headquarters of the new sub-county that was given in Ndewa, Madam Speaker. We have Pala, which is also has been a very old market in Ndewa constituency. We have Riat. Madam Speaker, Riat is a thriving urban center due to the fact that the Sukari industry is also is also there in Riat Center. Sukari industry is doing well. Our people are benefiting from it, albeit the challenges that we are facing, some of them environmental, which we are also addressing with our people and the authorities, including NEMA and the Ministry of Health. But it has a thriving market that is serving almost 3 wards in that constituency, Madam Speaker. We also have a market, a thriving market on your way, on the highway to Sori Center, which is in Migori County. And all, Madam Speaker, what I'm saying that not only in Dewa, but all market centers needs to be upgraded. Madam Speaker, as the upgrading of these markets also take place, it is a good thing that markets are constructed for our people, because it is a right anyway, Madam Speaker. But there is need to have public participation with the communities and with the business people and with the stakeholders, so that these markets are sited, the siting of these markets is done correctly. Madam Speaker, as I'm talking, there's a big market coming up in Ndewa town. I'm happy if Senator Boni Alwale mentioned the benefits Homa Bay County has had. Madam Speaker, it is because of the leadership of that county that we have a leadership that networks with the other leaders, and not only with the national government, but we have a governor that sits down, her leaders, colleague leaders in the county, including MPs. Madam Speaker, I hear there are counties where even governors don't sit with their MPs. But in Homa Bay County, we have a governor that sits annually, if not bi-monthly, with MPs, the MPs from that county, and the members of the county assembly. What is the essence of this network, Madam Speaker? While I respect she has the mandate to run the county, but she's cognizant of the fact that you need to carry everybody along in leadership. And through that way, the MPs are able to put together, and we are able to harmonize the different priorities and the different needs that we have. Probably I'm telling all other counties that is the reason why we may be doing better than all other, maybe other counties. Madam Speaker, but what I'm saying is that the communities and the business people must be consulted when these markets are done. It is one thing to want a market, Madam Speaker, but it is also another to site it in the right place. Madam Speaker, market is going on, construction of a market is going on in my sub-county in Ndewa. And we are very grateful because I'm looking forward to a situation where all the market women, all the business people we have in my town in Ndewa will have somewhere to do business in dignity. But Madam Speaker, in the process of this, the counties or the governments must also involve people and ensure that the businesses are relocated in an organized way so that as the markets are put in place, the business people have alternative areas of doing their businesses until the markets are complete. Madam Speaker, I'm saying this because if you went to Ndewa town on a Thursday, like just the day after tomorrow, which is a market day and a very busy day, because the relocation was not done well, our women and business people are all over, selling on the roads, selling everywhere, and it is not organized. And Madam Speaker, the other disaster that we could get into, I'm using my town because that is where I live and that is where I know better. You'll find on a Thursday, Madam Speaker, all the business people, all the women are on the road. You can hardly drive in that town on a Thursday. But that is not the worst, Madam Speaker. The worst is if an accident were to happen. Madam Speaker, I've been holding my heart. As the women sell on market day, all the half of the legs are on the roads, their wares are on the road, and it is that same road, Madam Speaker, that lorries and tippers use to transport sand from the lake, from Sori, towards all the urban centers in the county. Madam Speaker, if you are there, you'd be shocked. Because if an accident were to happen, Madam Speaker, we would not only lose a few, but it will be a disaster for that town. So I'm praying, Madam Speaker, that as this is done, good relocation plans must be put in place to ensure that our people have temporary places to keep on with their businesses as the markets are built. But I want to say, Madam Speaker, I support the construction of markets, and I want to support this motion that Vihiga, not only Vihiga, but all the towns deserve markets, Madam Speaker. It is a good initiative by the government which must be supported and which must be encouraged, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, sometimes back, there was the construction of the economic stimulus markets in this country. Madam Speaker, that was a disaster. In sometimes back before the pre-devolution times. I remember the markets would just be cited. Somebody just came from Nairobi with a drawing. They would probably consult one or two officers. And the markets were built all over. Madam Speaker, if you went all over this country, you'll see those economic stimulus markets unused. They are white elephants. But Madam Speaker, those are public monies. Somebody needs to account for these monies. How did they decide to use those monies? And who are they building these markets for if they are not used? In the same Ndewa town, which is my sub-county, Madam Speaker, there is one that has never been used for all the 8 years. And yet our people have held their businesses in an open ground that is muddy, that is watery, that is not habitable and does not make our people do their businesses with dignity, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I support this, and I want to say that even as a woman leader, Madam Speaker, the issue of markets are very critical to me. Because most of the time, it is the women, my women folk, who do a lot of business in these markets. We are asking the government that markets must be built because the people who use these markets pay levies to the county governments. We are calling on the county governments to ensure that our people do businesses in markets with dignity, in clean places. And Madam Speaker, other than the construction, there are certain amenities that we must ensure are in those markets, Madam Speaker. Where women do business, or most of the businessmen and women, there must be adequate access to water in those markets. Madam Speaker, in my area, we do a lot of, we are a community of fishermen. If we are not fishermen, there's a lot of business around fishing, and that requires a lot of water. And not only that, sanitation must be properly constructed that is adequate to the number of people in doing the businesses. Those businesses, the markets must have stands. The markets must have electricity. Madam Speaker, and as I've said, there must be hygienic standards that are kept in those marketplaces. So, Madam Speaker, as I support this, I want to re-emphasize to the government that all our business women and men require markets, and I'm looking forward to a situation whereby in a few years, all our markets, be they markets or town markets or municipality, must have a standard market for our people to use. Madam Speaker, I support.
Senator Nyamo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Markets are the heartbeat of local economies. And it is very surprising that in 2025, we still have women selling their wares on the ground and in sewers and in very terrible conditions. Madam Speaker, this report on the markets in Western Kenya are a reflection of markets all over the country, as my colleagues have demonstrated. And what I call that is systemic neglect over time. We have markets where we don't have proper drainage, we don't have proper access, we don't have fire extinguishers. And these markets are not just markets. These are pay slips for our fathers. These are livelihoods for our mothers. School fees is paid through these markets, Madam Speaker, because that is where our people have their livelihoods. And that is where they know, Madam Speaker. When President Ruto promised 400 to 500 markets across the country, he knew what he was doing. And when he went ahead and allocated money from the housing levy, some Kenyans who do not understand the magnitude and the effect on markets to the economy went ahead and went to court and stopped this project. We are hoping that we are going to get to the bottom of it, and so that this project can go on, because this project of markets is at the heart of the bottom-up economic model that this government was elected on. I would like to recommend that we have a national policy that gives the minimum standards of markets. How many toilets per traders? How many, all these facilities? We want a minimum standard for the whole of the country. Nairobi, we have markets under construction. When Governor Sakaja was elected, he promised 20 new markets for Nairobi. So far, we have 5, which are complete, and to me, that is a very good step in the right direction. These markets, which include one in Riruta, we have one in Kahawa West, we have one called Jujo in Mihango, another in Karen and Mutwini. They're good stalls, they have drainage, they are modern markets. And we also want to know who is getting allocated. What is the criteria to allocate these markets? Are our mamambogas, who are the organic traders, who are well known, are they the ones who are getting the priority? Or is it another political tokenism? We would like that the right people get allocated these markets, because if we duplicate up markets, they are going to lock out and outprice even the mamamboga. We would like them to go to the correct people, and we want them, the county government of Nairobi, to prioritize youth, women, and people living with disability when allocating these markets. I also propose, Madam Speaker, that fire mitigation steps be taken in all markets. We would want the hydrants that are fire extinguishers. We want CCTV in every market. We want proper access roads. And we want garbage collection points across all the markets, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, public health is also very key because these markets, Gikomba, Toy Market, have been hotspots for diarrhea, for typhoid, because the drainage is non-existent. Sewer flowing all the way to the river, like in Gikomba, for example, and particularly. Toy Market since it was demolished, traders are still using makeshift stalls. That's where they're trading in to date. We want our traders given dignity, and they will give back to the economy, Madam Speaker. And with those few remarks, I support.
There's no other speaker. The mover can reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the members who contributed to this report and adopt the report. Honorable Speaker, honestly, markets in this country are very important. And what we found in the field when we visited those Bungoma and Vihiga, the markets are actually in the Payroll situation. The counties actually are getting huge resources as the on-source resources. But of course, when you see the markets are just being squeezed in all sides. And as a result, the people in the market are just too many, and people are just sitting along the roadsides where they are facing a lot of risks. As rightly said, revenue collection is actually not maximized. It's either that it is neglected, but I think the most probable thing is that money is collected and not accounted for. And therefore, whatever is required for the market is actually minimal. And most of the counties don't meet it in their targets. Most of the counties are depending on the equitable shares. And as it's a high time that we must impose regulations and rules that will be able to safeguard the market collections and revenue collections in the counties. Honorable Speaker, as rightly said, accountability in the counties is actually wanting. And there's a lot of, seepage of money, which cannot be accounted for. If you go to those markets, the water facility is so poor. Most of these people in the market have some perishable goods, especially vegetables, oranges, bananas. There are not even cooling systems there. There are no fridges, and therefore, those mothers who labor the whole day, who till the land to bring at least some food on the table of their family, go at a loss with a lot of, most of the vegetables get perished because of staying long under the sun, and therefore, it is actually that we need to do more in the markets, because actually it's one of the greatest source, the major source of revenues in the market, in what you call it, counties. Madam Speaker, as rightly said by those members who contributed, I think we need to do, as a committee, we will go back again and make a follow-up on the recommendation of the reports. Madam Speaker, I think one thing that we need to do, and I want to thank Treasury now, that standardization of revenue collection and utilization of funds is actually very, very important. Because, as I rightly said, Murang'a County and Kiambu County have done wonderful to really increase their own source resources. And I'm sure many, many counties have the same potential and even more potential. But of course, due to lack of accountability and poor collections of funds, they are not able to meet a target. But this House has to take the matter seriously, that we must learn from Kiambu and Murang'a, so at least other counties can be able to improve. And this committee will make sure that we follow up the issues and see what wonders the Murang'a and Kiambu counties have done, and why it's not able to do, and the others cannot do it. With those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I beg to reply. However, Madam Speaker, there are not enough delegates here, and pursuant to Standing Order 663 of the Senate Standing Orders, I request that you defer the putting of the question to a later date. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the choice. Thank you so much.
The putting of the question is so deferred. Next order.
Order number 18, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Health on the county oversight and networking engagements to Taita Taveta, Mombasa, and Kwale counties.
Senator Mariam.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand to move the report of the Standing Committee on Health on the county oversight and network engagement on Taita Taveta, Mombasa, and the Kwale County. Madam Speaker, the Committee on Health conducted the oversight and network engagement in Taita Taveta and Kwale and Mombasa County on 16th and 21th of June, and the county oversight network engagement was adopted as a model.
Senator Mariam, can you move the motion first? Can you move it in the text as appears on the order paper?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg, Madam Speaker, I beg to move the Senate committee adopt. I beg to move the Senate adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Health on the county oversight and network engagement on to Taita Taveta, Mombasa, and Kwale County, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 5th of December 2024. Madam Speaker, the Committee on Health conducted the county oversight and network engagements in Taita Taveta, Kwale, Mombasa County on 16th and 21 June 2024. Madam Speaker, The county oversight and network engagement was adopted as a mode of operation by the committee in order to gather evidence and information received within the parliament and key of the how it engaged with the members of the public. Submission received during this engagement, one of the primary means by which the committee obtain requisite information and data to understand its oversight mandate. Madam Speaker, the committee further, the oversight and network engagement in Taita Taveta and Kwale and Mombasa County sought to acquit the committee with a provision of the healthcare service in the 3 counties. The committee's specific objective was to visit, select the healthcare facilities in the 3 counties to assess the state and the quality of the infrastructure, facilities and the hospital equipment, the provisions and decentralization of ambulance and emergency service, automation of healthcare provision system for the patients, drugs and commodity management, adequacy of healthcare personnel in the county, and the gap and challenges, if any, the county faces concerning the healthcare workers. Madam Speaker, the committee further sought to equip itself with the information on the training and the capacity building program and avenue available to the healthcare workers in this county, especially in emergency handling, how specialized service and the referral system operate in the identified counties and availability of drugs and medical supplies in the healthcare facilities in this county. Madam Speaker, whereas the Facility Improvement Fund Act was enacted in 2023 to provide for public service facility improvement, financing, and managing the administration of the own source revenue generated by the public health facilities. Section 2(9) of the Act makes the provision for the counties to enact legislation to give further effect on the Act in all the counties visited. This enables the county legislation has been enacted. Madam Speaker, the committee observed that once enacted, it is invested to revolutionize the provision of the healthcare by providing more to improve the healthcare facilities, infrastructure, and recruitment of more personnel. Madam Speaker, some counties has misunderstood FIF as a fund, requiring the complexity fund management structure leading to the bureaucratic delays, and it is recommended to emphasize in FIF as financing mechanism rather than the fund to reduce administrative barriers and improve fund flow to the facility. FIF legal framework, Madam Speaker, that the facility will be enabled to retain all the revenue they have generated in their own accounts, spend it directly on the operationalized costs such as the procurement of supplies, paying of the casual workers, and facility maintenance. Madam Speaker, they were concerned that during the transition from NHIF to the SHA, resource owned to the county government by the NHIF may be lost. The initial transition process had been described as incomplete and fraudulent with the efficiency delays and bureaucratic hurdles, leaving some healthcare facilities in limbo and raising fears about the financial flows in the counties and healthcare providers. Madam Speaker, exists mismatching and inconsistency in adherence to the county government budget making and implementation process outlined in the Public Finance Management County Government Regulation 2015. It is evidence from the submission by the 3 counties that the funding for the recurrent activities made up of the biggest percentage of their total health budget, as much they were unable to invest in expanding and consolidation of the healthcare provision service. Nevertheless, the allocated development budgets for the health was not fully implemented with confirmation of the reallocation of the budgets to recurrent expenditure or other sectors. Madam Speaker, the visit also observed that across the 3 counties, there exists inadequate number of the health workers in the healthcare facilities visited. These attributes to the number of the factors that including legislative ceiling on the employment, high cost of remuneration of the care of healthcare workers, natural attributions such as retirement, death, and resignation without replacement, and expansion in the healthcare coverage, especially under the county government. Consequently, this shortage has constrained the county health sector's ability to function efficiency. Madam Speaker, the staff shortage are particularly acute in the primary healthcare facilities, limiting their functionality and increasing the pressure on high-level hospital. The county government employ many qualified healthcare on the short casual contracts, creating job insecurity and prompt turnover. Further, poor working condition, lack of essential tools and equipment, and conducive working environment reduce the job satisfactions and increase of attritions. Inadequate research and inadequate resource affect the effort and ability to invest in service training and capacity building. Further, the County Public Service Board does not replace the staff existing the service through the natural attribution, that is promotion, resignations, and retirement immediately. In Kwale County, one of the staff members at Msambweni County Referral Hospital was promoted and posted to the county headquarters, further worsening the staff shortage at the facility. At the Coast General Teaching and Referral Hospital, the staff attribute because of the resignation was rampant, especially among the experienced and the trained health workers, and the 2 years posted training bond appeared not to discourage staff resignation. As such, there were sophisticated equipment required, donated, or procured in a specialized department, but lack of human resource to operate. Madam Speaker, across the county, concerns are raised in the ability of the KEMSA to supply all the required health products and technologies to the county, which forced them to purchase from other suppliers, and all the counties visited lies on imported supply due to limited local manufacturing. Indeed, only Mombasa County reported relying to local manufactured products in their pediatric ward. Madam Speaker, KEMSA, the current order fill rates stand at 56% with the 3 counties, with a back order fulfillment improved this to 65%. However, this below the targeted range of 80 to 90% that KEMSA aims to achieve. This shortfall in the meeting order contributes to the county seeking the other suppliers to fill the gaps. Madam Speaker, on behalf of the committee, I wish to thank Senator Jones Maruma, MP Senate, representing Taita Taveta, Senator A.C. Juma, Esa Juma Boy, MP, the Senate representing Kwale, and Senator Mohamed Faki, Senate representing Mombasa, for their warm welcome to their respective counties, and support extended to the committee by their office during the oversight visit. These inputs and contributes enable the committee carry out its oversight mandates and function effectively in the 3 counties. The committee wished to extend this appreciation to the county governor of the Taita Taveta, Kwale, Mombasa, and the respective executive committee members for their input, submissions, and evidence provided during the oversight tour. Further, Madam Speaker, the committee extends the appreciation to the Speaker of the County Assembly in the 3 counties, the member of the county members, the County Assembly Committee of Health, on their facilitations and participation. Madam Speaker, the committee also grateful to the members of the staff and other stakeholders in the health facilities visited during the tour for their submission, which has greatly enhanced the evidence and analyzing during the process of this report. Madam Speaker, finally, I also acknowledge and appreciate the member of the committee for their dedications and commitments during the gathering of evidence, drafting of these reports, and setting out conclusion and the recommendation. Madam Speaker, it is now my pleasure, duty, and privilege to present these reports and the committee of the report of the Committee of Health for the consideration and the approval of the House pursuant to the order to the Standing Order 226 of the Standing Committee, Standing Senate Order. Madam Speaker, with this all recommendation, I call upon Senator Wakoli to second.
Senator Wakoli.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity for me to second this report of the Committee of Health in the counties of Taveta, Mombasa, and Kwale counties, Honorable Speaker, as is evidenced presented by our Vice Chair and the Committee for Health, Honorable Speaker, that these counties, Honorable Speaker, the evidence is glaring that the human resource aspect in these counties, Honorable Speaker, is a big problem. Honorable Speaker, why these counties are not recruiting many health workers, Honorable Speaker, as you understand, is the ceilings that are pegged on the employment of these people, the enumeration of the healthcare workers, and the attrition, retirement, death, and resignation, Honorable Speaker. But that be it, Honorable Speaker, it is really disturbing to realize that many people retire for a long time in these counties. People resign, Honorable Speaker, but it takes a long time for the public service boards of counties, Honorable Speaker, to declare these seats vacant and to start a recruitment process, Honorable Speaker. And if you get to the details as you are on the ground, Honorable Speaker, some of the replacements are nowadays being done without proper advertisement, vetting, and equally posting of these people. So, Honorable Speaker, what we are saying, that these oversight tours at the county levels really expose what is happening at the local level, Honorable Speaker. And when you see these things happening, Honorable Speaker, it affects the service delivery of people. Imagine someone has been working as a cashier, earning half the salary of someone on permanent and pensionable. And as they do that, in one morning, they get a colleague who is already employed permanent and pensionable without going through the due process, and expect these people to be loyal and patriotic to this country. So we are saying, Honorable Speaker, that the Ministry of Health or the Department of Health in counties, they should rise to the occasion and ensure that when they recruit, it is fair. When they pay, it is fair work for fair pay.
and equally the working environment. Allowances, Honorable Speaker, allowances are being given discriminatively, and therefore it affects the working output of these people. Honorable Speaker, you look at the essential tools, equipment, and conducive working environment. We were in some facilities, Honorable Speaker, these are level 4. They don't have a CT scan, they don't have an X-ray. Honorable Speaker, the microscopes they are using are those which we are using during the Nyayo era, Honorable Speaker. Microscopes that for them to use, they must open the windows wide for the sun to facilitate them to check whether someone is sick or not. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, we are saying the funds that are coming to counties must be prudently used and to buy tools and equipment that will add value to the lives of these people. Honorable Speaker, looking at KEMSA, it is very evident that KEMSA is not really supplying enough medicines to counties to the levels expected at county levels. But it must not be noted that counties are equally not paying KEMSA. So as much as we want to whip the folks, we must equally whip the hens, because they are conniving to meet at some point where the fox is eating the hen and the owner of both the fox and the hen is going at a loss. So we are saying county governments must pay KEMSA, but KEMSA must equally supply medicines enough for the counties to be able to treat its patients. To conclude, Honorable Speaker, on my presentation, I want to recognize and appreciate that the ministries of the Department of Health across these counties have realized that Senate is not here to entertain people or to witch hunt people. They have now realized that when you come to counties, we check if the drugs are okay, if they are expired, if we have incinerators, if the work establishment is fine, if the environment is good for them. We are also discussing, Honorable Speaker, the promotion of health workers in this country. You find doctors who have been working for 10 years without promotion. And no sooner have they recruited a few young people in the system for 2-3 years, they are promoted, and those who have worked for more than 5 years are not promoted. What we are saying, Honorable Speaker, that promotions of health workers must be done based on experience and the amount of time they have worked in those facilities, are not based on who you know, how you know them, and how you expect to know them thereafter. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to second. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speakers, Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Standing Committee on Health, on the county oversight and networking engagement to Taita Taveta, Mombasa, and Kwale counties laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 5th December 2024. Senator Cherarki.
Mr. Speaker, as I want to thank you for this opportunity, for giving me to have the first bite to the cherry on this report on the working visit of Kwale, Mombasa, and Taita Taveta. Mr. Speaker, I'm praying one day they will also be able to come to Nandi. And Mr. Speaker, I'm a great champion of doing our things at the grassroots level, because that is how Senate will have the impact. That is how Senate will have the impact. I agree, plenary is as important as what we do. But if our people, Kenyans, wherever they are, to receive value for what we do is to be on the ground, the boots on the ground, and I want to celebrate the Committee of Health, Mr. Speaker, mark you, they have a number of reports on devolution and intergovernmental committee. I want to thank committee through the Vice Chairperson, Senator Sheikh Omar, for the good job that they have done. This report, Madam Speaker, I'm very impressed. It is so thorough. Until they were able to tell us number of X-ray machines, they were able to tell us about the issues of oncology machines, they were able to tell us about dialysis machines, and many other machines that are used, including imaging machines. and even both infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, because I'll just concentrate on observations and recommendations so that I can yield the floor for other colleagues, is that I'm impressed because they have captured funding, Madam Speaker, sorry, funding. They have gone to human resource issues. They have gone to infrastructure. They have gone even to technology in terms of use in dispensing. So anybody who reads these reports, Madam Speaker, will understand that the Health Committee went an extra mile. So, Madam Speaker, earlier today in the proceedings formative stages, I didn't indicate that the success or failure of devolution will only be anchored on one thing, health. Because health is a cross-cutting issue, whether you come from Mandera, from Kisumu the way you do, or from Busia, from Kakamega, from Nairobi, where one of the delegates is here, and even from Mandera, where members, and even Wajir. Health is a very important issue, wherever you work in. Speaker, the most complaints I get, over 80% in Nandi County, concerns the issue around health. Lack of drugs, inaccessibility to facilities that are there, issues of infrastructure, and therefore the funding of health sector, Madam Speaker, is very critical. And therefore, you know, the Abuja Declaration demanded that at least 15% of budget should go to health sector. We are here to realize that both at national and county levels. Madam Speaker, even this factor is that is where we're having push and pull. One of the devolved functions that is having push and pull between national and county governments, Madam Speaker, is on the issue of health. Because under the Constitution, Madam Speaker, when you look at the 4th schedule, health is devolved. It behooves the national government, and that is why in the last session, when we moved to court to challenge the 22 laws that were not concurrent, Madam Speaker, one of the key issues in the amendment in one of the health laws then, when we wanted to challenge National Assembly before Justice Weldon Korir, the argument was simple that the work of health policy is exclusive domain of the national government. And therefore, we had push and pull, and that is why we moved to court, although the court agreed with us that there must be concurrent engagement between the bicameral. And I hope, Madam Speaker, going into the future, we'll be able to pass bicameral laws so that we can have a more neater engagement, because we don't want to see both houses as if they are competing over space. Madam Speaker, I want to celebrate because apart from health sector funding, health sector staffing in those regions, issue of, in terms of funding, issue of human resource and technology, they went further and even look about the issue of NHIF and the Social Health Insurance Fund, the SHIF. And I'm happy, Madam Speaker, as of today, more than 25 million Kenyans have registered under SHA. And SHA is working with the 3 funds that we already have in place. I'm happy to report whenever I work in Nandi and across the country through our empowerment programs, and I'm happy you have been among most of our esteemed guests and support in many groups, especially in your county, Kisumu. You get people saying, Senator, SHA is working. I heard this bill. I agree there are some challenges. Like paying for the whole year, I think we have agreed. And I'm happy the Minister of Public Service did indicate that they shall malipo pole pole with the indulgence, Madam Speaker, of mixing the 2 languages. So I'm happy, but I think there are still liabilities of NHIF. I think the law is very clear that when a new entity comes in, they take over liabilities. So I want to appeal to the Minister of Health, the SHA, to ensure they offset a lot of liabilities, because I see in most of these counties, like disbursement, like Coast General Hospital, EDA, being owed 250 million, while Kwale County reported 96 million as liabilities in NHIF. I think the Minister of Health, CS Aden Duale, should seize this matter. And I want to thank the CS of Health, Aden Duale, because you remember, Madam Speaker, there was a normal matter where, in terms of Bachelor of Science in Nursing, in terms of placements, there were 348 interns that had been placed in our hospitals or our facilities without the proper procedure of the law. Madam Speaker, when you look at the public service, human resource policy guidelines on internship and healthcare policy professionals, there is a certain way of engaging interns. And the revocation of 348, I think because they had not completed their their studies, because completion and graduation and clearance from the over the body that regulate, like you and me, we are being cleared, or our regulatory report is Law Society of Kenya, for example. I know there is also KMPDC, Madam Speaker. I don't know, you know, Senator Kalwale is expert in gynecology, so I don't know whether they are gynecologist body that clears them. So in this 348, I want to CS Duale for doing a good job, Madam Speaker, but I want to appeal to the CS Duale, Madam Speaker, that as he goes ahead to remove the 348 that was irregularly, and remove, because I saw them coming to our gates yesterday, Madam Speaker, is to go further and punish those people who placed our children. Some of them were in Siolo, they were paying rent, they were paying internship money. Madam Speaker, we should make the process of doing an irregular thing in this country to be as painful and as rare as snowball in hell, Madam Speaker, so that it can be a lesson to many others. And I'm happy, Madam Speaker, I think today you read a report on illegal organ transplant in the country. I saw the CS also commenting about it. I hope the chair and the members of health will seize that matter. Madam, and that is on the share issue, Madam Speaker. On the issue of budgeting, I want to appeal to counties, Madam. You know, I found it weird that, for example, Taita Taveta decided that in their supplementary budget of 2023-2024, they decided to remove money meant for health to come for development, from development to recurrent, as if health is not critical. Madam Speaker, the vulnerable in the society are normally the sick. The quality of any society, Madam Speaker, will be treated based on how they treat their vulnerable. So if you see a county removing 50 million in the annual budget of health for recurrent, Madam Speaker, means buying newspapers, buying flowers, traveling, perambulating and calavanting around the place. Madam Speaker, is it more important in Taita Taveta to buy drugs or to travel for a retreat somewhere in Mombasa, or travel even to Dubai, Madam Speaker, unless it is budgeted? Number 4, Madam Speaker, on the observation is the Facilities Improvement Fund Act, which we enacted at the House. I think we have agreed that instead of them getting from county treasury or these approvals, they should spend at source, and I am happy but Mombasa County Assembly should move with speed and ensure that Facility Improvement Fund is taken into focus. Madam Speaker, on human resource, I want to report that most of our, Madam Speaker, you know, you walk into, and I'm happy Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital has been, County Referral Hospital, has been gazetted as a state agency. And I want to thank His Excellency the President and Right Honorable Raila Odinga for ensuring that now at the Western Hemisphere, you know, people who live around Nairobi think that they are next to God, because they have Kenyatta National Hospital, they have Mbagathi, they have Mama Lucy. You, from Kisumu, you had to drive all the way to Moi Teaching and Referral, which was overwhelmed. People from Kakamega, Bungoma, even Uganda, but I'm happy we are now having Jaramogi Odinga Referral Hospital now to assist us. The issue of, I remember Senator Kalwale, Madam Speaker, was following on Kakamega County Referral Hospital. I don't know how far did he reach, but I want to warn him, if he wanted that Kakamega County Referral Hospital to be taken over by government, he should stop attacking government, because you cannot attack and defend at the same time, Madam Speaker, so that you can get Kakamega County Referral Hospital, so that I don't see, Madam Speaker, when you stand at Cheptulu, Chavakali, all the way, and this one of, you only see ambulance from Kakamega County government rushing to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. It looks like the poor health service provision by Governor Baraza in Kakamega. Because how, if you stand and count, you want to suicide sitting of ambulances, you only Kakamega County government, driving with the breakneck speed, all the way to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, Madam Speaker, which is very unfortunate, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Senator Methu, what is your point of order?
Can you even take water before requesting point of order?
Gerard Gay, you sit down and listen to it.
And Madam Speaker, I wonder what Senator Gerard Gay has with the water that he really wants me to take. We are very careful these days, but I would not have also wanted to disrupt him and disrupt his flow of thought. But I'm
Senator Methu, what is your point of order?
Yes, that is what I'm going to, Madam Speaker. I was just laying a background of why I'm standing. I respect Senator Cherargei. I'm rising pursuant to Standing Order 105, responsibility of a statement of fact. In the course of his contribution, Madam Speaker, I've had Senator Cherargei thank the President for gazettement of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital, but he was also quick to add that he's thanking the President and the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. I would want Senator Cherargei to tell us the role that Raila Odinga would have in the gazettement of a hospital in terms of...
what was out of order?
What is out of order?
You are raising on a point of order.
What is out
what
of
was
order?
Out of order?
What is out of order, Madam Speaker, on responsibility of fact, it's not a fact that the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Odinga has any role in the gazettement of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital.
Senator Methu, I did not remember the word role being used in that statement.
What was used?
So, Senator Methu, please make your point of order properly,
yes,
or with...
I'm not withdrawing, Madam Speaker, because I'm saying that it is not a statement of fact, because what he has said, because we are interrogating what he has said, that he wants to thank the President and the Prime Minister Raila Odinga for the gazettement of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Hospital. That was he has said. And that is not a fact.
Senator Methu, I will treat your point of order as frivolous. Senator Cherargei, please proceed.
I'm sure you are conflicted, then I'm sure you can treat it as frivolous.
Wait a minute, Madam Speaker, point of order. Can you invoke Standing Order 101?
Senator Cherargei, I have ruled. Please proceed with your...
And you should respect the chair.
I respect the chair, of course.
Of course. The human resource. I wondered, and you know, the health sector in...
Senator Cherargei, focus on what you were presenting.
I'm focusing. Even the health sector in Nyandarua, we must speak to it. I would have expected Senator Methu to tell us the poor health sector in Nyandarua. Instead of raising frivolous point of orders.
Focus on your presentation.
Okay. But I'm saying on the issue of workers, but I'm saying when you visit, and I exited the point that on the western part, that is why we need to thank. We are in broad-based government, and we are not ashamed, and we are not fearful to say we are in broad-based government, led by His Excellency President William Ruto and Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga. I know, Madam Speaker, in fact, he is not deep state. He should have been with Munyoro in the U.S. Madam Speaker, and therefore, like the issue of protective equipments, Madam Speaker, issues like providing health workers with salaries, Madam Speaker. I'm told the account is that they are not even giving risk allowances or extraneous allowances for the work that our health workers do. Madam Speaker, you are aware, and at least we have one doctor in the house, Dr. Kalwale, that most of the doctors and health work on call. Some of them are even called during odd hours. When us, we are safe in our houses, Madam Speaker. So I want to believe that we must relook at the issue of health workers, Madam Speaker, and the County Public Service Board must be called to order, Madam Speaker. And I want to appeal to County Public Service Board because I have studied public accounts. I don't know why the yellow light is there and yet the Methu took away my time. Madam Speaker, what I wanted to say, the Secular by Public Service Commission say when you reach 60, you must retire. Unless you are God sent. That's what the law says, Madam Speaker. I don't know, in our county public service, I have been in public accounts, Madam Speaker. We have been there with you on some of the occasions, even in committees. The retirement age is 60. I was shocked, for example, in Garissa, Madam Speaker, the chairperson of County Public Service Board is over 60 years, Madam Speaker, who is supposed to be appointed, Ahmed Abdirahman, over 60. So how do you expect the violation of the law? Like, for example, what is happening in Garissa, Madam Speaker. So we must ensure the County Public Service Board ensure salaries, extraneous allowances, and Madam Speaker, protection. When I went to Kapsabet County Referral Hospital, I met some doctors who even have to send the patient to go to Kapsabet Town to buy gloves, then come and be treated, including drugs. The place is dirty. Madam Speaker, that is why most of our medical doctors and practitioners are dying, because they don't have protective gear. They don't have protective equipment to protect themselves, Madam Speaker. Even as we talk about salaries, as we talk about allowances, we must provide them with a good working environment that is clean, that is hygienic, that is safe for our health practitioners, Madam Speaker. I saw my friend Kebore and Chairman Peterson Washira, among others, even Dafchi Atela. They should push beyond salaries. They should ensure there is proper working environment, Madam Speaker. So when I visited Kapsabet County Referral Hospital, I visited a number of facilities in Nandi, Maraba, I was ashamed. You see bed sheets lying around, very dirty. And these are contaminated, and you expect a doctor to treat you. There is no light. I was ashamed because I've seen in Mombasa County Referral Hospital, in the report, and I'm happy the committee you did expose this, that they are leaking roofs. Leaking roofs in the highest cost general hospital has a leaking roofs. Leaking, like the one we used to have in JK. Madam Speaker, just to fix, to go up and just put an iron sheet with a nail. Do we need a scientist to do that? Do we need a professional, Madam Speaker? Because I can see like fixing curtains that we buy here in Italy. Coast General Hospital does not have curtains. They need Senate to direct them to fix curtains, Madam Speaker. There is also leaking roofs and hallways, so when it rains, just like Turkana County Referral Hospital, it was flooded, including the whole place, Madam Speaker. Yeah, do you mean Senate has reduced itself until we are discussing leaking roofs of County Referral Hospital? The governor, Abdul Samad of Mombasa, must be ashamed. This is shame. This is in our report. It's shame. It's shame, Madam Speaker. How can you explain to our children in future that Senate sat to discuss leaking roofs? Madam Speaker, this is embarrassing. Then I know there's something else in Taita Taveta, in the health workers professionals. This one was in Coast County Referral Hospital, Madam Speaker. The issue of Utange Field Hospital should be addressed, Madam Speaker. The issue of perimeter wall. You know perimeter wall. Even when Nehemiah, Madam Speaker, in the Holy Book, do they need Nehemiah to go to Utange in Mombasa to assist in rebuilding the wall like they did to Jericho? Madam Speaker. And you know there are so many Sanballats who will tell them even if a dog stands on that wall, it will collapse. Madam Speaker, the governor of Mombasa must be ashamed of himself. And I think Boni Khalwale, since he's one of the practitioners of the medical world, he should be the one calling out such individuals. We cannot sit here to discuss perimeter walls. Madam Speaker, on this report that we have looked at, I think I want to agree on the issue of health sector.
Senator, okay, just 30 seconds to finish your sentence. 30 seconds.
Okay. Madam Speaker, thank you for that indulgence. I know you will do that because you are my neighbor. Madam Speaker, emergency and ambulance services. In Nandi, for example, there is 1,000 shillings you pay for fuel. Can you believe, Madam Speaker? No, I can't. Can you believe? I come from Nandi, Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, and for convenience of the House, allow me to support this report and let us adopt it for the betterment of our health sector in our counties. I thank you.
Honorable Senators, I don't see any other request, so I call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I stand to reply to the Senate reports of Standing Committee of Health on the oversight and network engagements to the Taita Taveta, Mombasa County, Kwale County, which has been laid in the Senate. Madam Speaker, I appreciate the contribution made by the Senator Cherargei. Madam Speaker, so far, as a committee, we have visited 18 counties. 18 counties, Madam Speaker. And Senator Cherargei, I accepted your request. And with this, I will convince the committee to go to the Nandi County. Madam Speaker, there are so many issues we have seen in all the 18 counties, and we normally go to different departments in the hospital, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, we have also, in general, we recognize that the budgeting of the county, the health sector, even in the nationally, the SGD number 3, Madam Speaker, is not even well funded. Currently, the SGD is supposed to be 5% of the budget, but currently, as Kenya government, that is SDP number 3, we have only financed 2%. That means we have a long way to go, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when it comes to the human resource on the 18 counties we have visited, they all are the same because they have shortage of staffs are there. Madam Speaker, the drugs, Madam Speaker, the issue of KEMSA not reaching the field rates, it is there. Madam Speaker, the equipment, functioning of the equipment, not working equipment. Madam Speaker, there is a lot we're supposed to have so that our service delivery to the health can be perfect, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, when it comes to the leakage of the roof, the way Senator Nandi articulated, Madam Speaker, it is there, Madam Speaker. We have seen in one of the counties out of 18, I remember it is in Marsabit, where there is a problem of tiles, there is a problem of roofing. Madam Speaker, there are so many, which is administrative maintenance, which is supposed to be done by the CEOs of the counties. And nowadays there is FIF, which can cater of this maintenance of administrative issues, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the issue of the availability of drugs, Madam Speaker, in 8 counties, almost 50% of we visited, they have expired drugs on their shelf. So we are wondering what is these expired drugs doing in the ward, in the theater, on the shelf of the health center, health facilities. Madam Speaker, this shows that the drugs board and the facilities, those guys who are supposed to be having doing rotation on the drugs, they are reluctant, and there is negligence of duties on that sector. Madam Speaker, we realize also these drugs, expired drugs, are normally given to people. Madam Speaker, this mortality rate which is increasing, out of 1,000, there are 366 women are dying, Madam Speaker. That shows that when they are in their labor room, the bleeding is supposed to be, they are supposed to be given an injection, Madam Speaker. We realize the injection they normally give are expired. So there is not even functioning to cater for stopping of the bleeding, Madam Speaker. So it shows that most of their counties need to pull their socks so that at least the service delivery of the hospital, Madam, is be given a perfect service delivery. Madam Speaker, in some counties, there are some which are stall projects. One county for transitions, instead of completing other persons, that the governors which has transited to do finishing the stall project, Madam Speaker, the current governor who is supposed to finish the stall project, he start another project instead of finishing the other one. So that shows that he is eating on the budget of the development. And Madam Speaker, There is also most of the practitioners, that is health workers, having private sector, that is pharmacies to operate. They have even they have even clinic. Instead of being their duties, they go to their private issues, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that shows that there is incompetence and in negligence of the health workers. As much as a committee we fight for more human resource to be employed, those guys, the human resource which are available currently in 18 counties, they are not utilizing they are not giving a good services to the citizen, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with that, I beg to move that the putting of the question to be done, Madam Speaker. Thank you very much.
To be deferred to the next sitting.
Sorry, Madam Speaker, I beg to move that the putting of the questions to be deferred to the next sitting. Thank you.
Next order.
Order number 18, motion, report of the Standing Committee. Order number 19, motion, report of the Standing Committee on Health on the inspection tour of health facilities in West Pokot, Trans Nzoia, and Turkana counties.
Senator Mariam.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I move the report of the Standing Committee on Health on inspections tour of the health facilities in Western Pokot, Trans Nzoia, and Turkana County. Madam Speaker, during the visit of the committee, observed the need of the cooperations and collaboration to ensure that the effective function of the devolution health functions to be strengthened, the oversight over utilization of the resources. Madam Speaker, the committee also observed that the counties had capital incentive, that is the health projects, whose construction has been installed. Madam Speaker, in most of further, there was a need to ensure that the primary health care facilities which has been established
and Senator Cherarke, please let's listen to
established during the early years of devolution were made operationalization. Madam Speaker, the committee also noted that the health facilities did not have requisite numbers of the healthcare personnel working in the critical department, Madam Speaker, that is maternity, the emergency, specialized care units, and that of various departments in the hospitals are facing with high workload and the staff shortage. Madam Speaker, the committee also observed that the counties to address the law, the staff morale and motivation raising from the poor terms of services and delaying the payment of salaries and stipend, Madam Speaker. Chronic delays in salary payments, poor remunerations, and challenging the work environment push healthcare workers employed by different county public service board to leave the county service and to seek an opportunity to private sector, Madam Speaker. The committee also observed that the contracts workers frequently receive low wages than the permanent staff despite the performing similar duties, leading to dissatisfactions and unfairness, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the committee also observed that there is a lack of three-phase electricity had to be the counties be unutilized unable to utilize specialized equipment. Madam Speaker, this one we have seen in the Pokot that there is CT scan machines were bought, and they are unutilized because of the three-phase electricity. That shows that there is a negligence in the side of the CEO in the county. Madam Speaker, there is also the health facilities in Kenya also lack reliable and sufficient electricity to support the modern medical advance. Madam Speaker, we further note that there was a need for the counties to address low morale among the community health workers arising from failure to pay their stipend in timely manner. And Madam Speaker, the committee found that the poor security measures at most of the facilities observed, including the lack of incomplete fencing, lack of CCTV surveillance system, and posing the security risk to the patients, health workers, and available medical equipment, and this was enable needs to improve the security measures at the county health facility. Madam Speaker, in these CCTV issues, there is one of the Trans Nzoia County Hospital where we realized that somebody from outside is attending to the patient. So we follow it up and later recognize that there is no CCTV to follow it as an evidence. Madam Speaker, in the light of the above, further noting that the cross-cutting challenges and the committee recommend that the county, Trans Nzoia and the Western Pocket should ensure the proper security infrastructure, for instance, for training guides and perimeter wall ought to be put in place, and to also to ensure the accountability and own source revenue and all the revenue collection points in all public health facilities. In collaboration with the respective county public service board, there should be a regular requirement. Madam Speaker, with this report...
Honorable Senators, it is now 6:30 p.m. time to adjourn the Senate. The Vice Chair, Health Committee, will have a balance of 54 minutes to move the motion. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 6th August 2025 at 9:30 a.m.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.